welcome back to the Break Room Podcast. We got a full house tonight. Episode 1, Season 3.
Woo!
Very excited, very excited.
That's right.
As you can see, I have more plastic editions on my table here. They decided to come out with a Filmation-style He-Man line recently, so I got the first two toys that I pre-ordered, which is Classic He-Man and Beast-Man. I'm still waiting on a pre-order of Teela and Skeletor, and they also made a Man-at-Arms.
Man-at-Arms.
But I don't know how many more they're going to release from this line. I would like to see a Trapjaw as well. I think he has actually been announced, but I haven't gotten him yet either. But these are the very first ones that I got. I also wanted to give a shout out to the video game trading post in the Tanger outlets in Deer Park, because my buddy Alex over there, who runs the store, was very generous, gifted me an entire bag full of old wrestling action figures that had a few Rob Van Dams,
3 RVDs, 1 Jeff Hardy, 1 Christian,
exactly,
and a partridge in a pear tree.
John
this
Cena.
little gambit, which I'm giving to Joe over here. So, thank you so much, Alex. You're the fucking man. And he's also going to be hooking me up with copies of Metal Gear Solid 4 and Peace Walker, because we're going to get into deeper discussion with this episode. But long story short, I've watched a playthrough of Metal Gear Solid 1 and beaten 2 and 3 now. So I have a better... I was struggling with the controls, but I'm going to get into that when we talk Metal Gear Solid. But
I wouldn't be offended by a remake, to be honest. I would definitely...
I would love that.
Wait, a full Metal Gear 1 remake?
Twin Snakes it's called on the GameCube, yes.
But they've never gotten that to
Yeah, but why wouldn't they put out
PS4,
Twin Snakes for this Volume 1 shit that they came out with?
It's a Nintendo game.
That sucks.
I already lost he already said it.
Yeah,
you
I
just
did.
said it again.
You're guilty. You're guilty. We're trying our
2
best.
minutes and 40 seconds.
No, he said it. He said it when he's talking about his friend. He already ruined it.
Oh, so we were 90
He
seconds
said, "You're
in?
the effing man."
Wow.
Oh, I
Our
did.
goal is to
I
get
did
5
say-
minutes without cursing. It's
Yeah,
not
I failed.
possible.
I told you I was going to be the one to break
Well,
it.
we can
I
still
can't even-
endeavor.
Generate, yeah.
It's such a part of my vernacular that I can't.
You guys don't mind if we curse, do you?
I don't think anybody minds. Except
Nobody cares. Nobody cares.
cares.
Dodson.
What?
We got Dodson here.
That's in here. Don't get cheap on me,
man.
Dotson.
Oh, we got a healthy crowd here starting off. Of course, the break from the Dungeon Podcast.
There he is.
Hell yeah.
Love you.
Made a very good point. He said that Sweet is going to kill all of you dudes in the new GTA, and that is absolutely right.
That
Can't
is
wait
a
to talk.
fact. Yeah,
Cannot
that's
wait
another
to
thing
talk
we'll
about
talk
that.
about.
Tip of
Cannot
our
wait.
tongues, man. We're
Chris,
gonna
what's
try
our
to-
first topic of the day?
You're going to tell us about that awesome trailer that Chris doesn't like or care for.
Well, yeah, you're going to have to talk. You guys are going to, if you want to talk Ghostbusters, it's on all you guys, because I got nothing.
I ain't afraid of no ghost.
Oh, I just need to shout out Hells for the thumbnail. I want to make
yeah.
sure he
Yeah,
gets the
great
proper
thumbnail.
credit for that. Thank you so much for doing that for us like a year ago.
Funny stuff.
And it
We could
just-
finally use it.
Yeah.
Okay, we're ready to
time.
do this.
Fucking Lester.
Lester, yo.
I fucking hate that son of a
All
bitch.
right.
Every time I try to play that game,
See?
I just want to go online and enjoy.
We're at 5
like,
minutes.
Tip of our tongues. We
telling
can't
you.
even
So
not
ready to
talk about this.
GTA.
It's like
All right. Seriously, though.
Thank
Ghostbusters trailer.
Ghostbusters. I saw it. Very exciting. It looks like they're almost going a little darker than they've ever gone before. They got like mass deaths in New York from this frozen kingdom, whatever's coming. It's probably going to be like a one-off villain kind of thing. We're seeing a new Ghostbusters outfit that we've never seen before
red.
with the red jackets, which are
I really like that.
really sharp. I don't know.
I didn't notice.
I'll give it a shot. I love Paul Rudd. I think he's hilarious, so I think he's going to kill it again. He was great in the first one.
And all the
kids from the
Cass
last
is-
one are going to be back. Yeah,
and the
Spangler's
first.
granddaughter and all that stuff.
No. But the original
Oh yes,
Ghostbusters
they're
are
all
in
back.
it.
Dan
Yeah.
Aykroyd, Bill Murray, they're going to be more involved in this movie as well.
And of course, Ernie Hudson. He's going to basically be like the funder, I think, because they showed that he was like a successful businessman at the end of the last movie, and that he was going to kind of revitalize the Ghostbusters.
That was the
using his funds.
first time we all went out as a full podcast to watch something. That was the Ghostbusters movie Afterlife.
That's right.
Super.
That's not true. I
pleasant.
wasn't there. I didn't see Ghostbusters.
When
You
were you
don't- you're
there?
not there
You've
for
never
anything.
seen
The Batman was what we saw.
Oh my
You
god!
motherfucker.
That was like
Infamous
a year after that.
Batman.
Oh, that was the
episode.
first movie that we all saw together. Have you
Terrible.
know? It was not Ghostbusters.
I was pleasantly surprised by the Ghostbusters.
I was
movie,
ready
for sure.
to film 2 hours ago, Christopher.
I was definitely, when we went to go see that, it was definitely like, yeah, let's just go as a group or
hand it to you.
group -1. And then, Jesus, you guys. And then, went in to see that with like no expectation, low expectation, and it actually exceeded.
I liked
and
it
it
a
was
lot.
very good. I watched it a couple of times after that too.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the Ghostbusters, and I just to while on Ghostbuster news, HasLab's latest campaign.
Help.
These guys are really killing me, man. They're really killing me because I got the proton pack, which is it's a piece of technology. Right? That thing is like for 15 pounds. They put a lot of stuff in that thing.
It's cool.
And then the neutrino wand, which connects to it with the power source. But now they've announced a PKE meter and a ghost trap, complete with the pedals to open it up. The thing does all the animations from the movie for the PKE meter, so it's going to be the most accurate PKE and ghost trap made to date.
If you don't, I don't know. I know dragging that shit to Comic-Con would be impossible.
It wouldn't be Comic-Con. I'd have
Walking
to do it
around
for a
with it
more
would be
local
like,
show,
Jesus.
like maybe Eternal Con, where like I can drive there and stuff like that.
At minimum, we need some pictures of you in the gear, dude. You got basically everything except the.
If
whatever,
I'm going to
the
be
work
real
thing.
about it, more than likely, I'd probably end up making videos as a Peter Griffin Ghostbuster. I think that would be.
We wanted to do a
I'd
trailer
go
a
with
while
that.
back for our show as the Ghostbusters. Like they
We're
do their
ready to
commercial.
believe you.
That would be great.
Yeah, I think that would be.
Nobody cares about the Ghostbusters anymore.
Oh, here it goes. Let it
What?
out. Let it out. Let it out.
Come on, give it
Let
to
it
us.
out.
What's
Are
the
you
problem with
kidding?
Ghostbusters, pal?
Don't hold it in because
Chris,
you know
20
seconds
He's
before
not-
the show
I have
he
a-
was no.
He's
I
not
have
an idiot.
empirical evidence that
String
you're
me
full
up.
of shit. And you know why? Because every single HasLab project that they've ever released for Ghostbuster has resoundingly been fulfilled. And every
Yeah, because
backing
it's a bunch
tier
of old
has been
guys like
fulfilled.
us buying the
but
fucking
guess
toys.
What? The same old fucks are buying G.I. Joe shit, and they can't get them to fund the Super 7 Cobra ship. And it's a similar priced item, and it's just a playset. Whereas that's an accessory piece that you could put to a cosplay. And there are a lot of G.I. Joe fans out there, and not one of these movies has flopped except for the female one, which was a completely different direction. It wasn't written by any of the Reitmans or anything.
Right.
It didn't have any of the original flair. Now that they have Jason Reitman's
Son?
I think it's his son.
I think so.
Is the one that's overseeing all these new Ghostbusters movies, and I think they're really capturing the feel of those old movies. where they were
What
funny,
don't you
but
like about
scary,
Ghostbusters?
We
What is it?
literally said at the very start we're not going to get stuck on a side.
We're not gonna get stuck.
We
It's
talked
okay.
about Ghostbusters.
No,
It's
no,
been
no,
so
no, no,
much
no.
fucking time on the show.
I already
I'm
cursed.
tired of talking about the Ghostbusters.
I'm the only one that didn't curse yet.
All
Anyway,
right, well, I'm allowed to curse now. It's
yeah,
past
yeah.
5 minutes.
I want to know. I want to know what is it that you just don't. It doesn't interest you.
No, it's not. It's not even that, man. I remember what is the one with Vigo or whatever,
Yeah,
the
two.
Carpathian. That was pretty funny.
Okay.
You know, but I was kind of born after the Ghostbuster.
There it is.
Boom. Yeah.
There it is.
I missed it on
We
there.
all
you know?
were. We all were born before that. It was an early '80s movie. None of us were alive for Ghostbusters.
Oh yeah,
1.
we were born after.
I did see
87.
Ghostbusters 2 in theaters with my mom because I'm that old. But
Ghostbusters was on TV when I was a kid. That was the thing.
That's how
When
I
grew
saw
up.
Ghostbusters.
there was
Ghostbusters
also the
on TV.
Ghostbusters cartoon that late '80s. That I don't know. You're probably too young for that too. So
And in the 90s,
not
there
your-
was the Extreme Ghostbusters.
That
So that was
sucked.
another revitalization of the Ghostbusters,
yeah, no.
which I did watch on UPN 9.
I'm tired of
before
talking
school.
about that fucking movie series. We got better things to talk about.
It's
Fuck
a great
Ghostbusters.
movie series. Don't give me
I
that
know.
shit.
I know you guys love it. Greg Gosselin loves it, but I feel like besides that, nobody else.
It's
gives a shit.
fantastic. It's fantastic.
It has great.
I'm also
the
just trying to
humor
stir
in
you
the-
guys up a little.
Yeah,
bit.
see?
The humor in the movie is great too because it's like Bill Murray and it's very underhanded and you got to almost be a little older to get some of those jokes because they're quick, they're kind of snappy,
yeah.
and there's just like a good feel about the whole
It's a Saturday
gang.
Night
It's such
Live
a no-
heyday.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yes.
That's the other part. Yeah,
You know,
It's-
the thing about the first Ghostbusters is you could still watch it today and it still holds up. The jokes,
100.
the humor, the story, some of the CGI and effects don't, but
Ah.
it's still a very watchable movie almost 40 years later.
without a doubt.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. Very.
Nobody
enjoyable.
steps on a church in my town.
What other pickups you got over there, Rob? You were showing us some toys, right?
Yeah, like I said, and then there is one other toy pickup I wanted to. It's not even a pickup. It was a birthday gift from my niece specifically. She was the one that picked this out. She got me. I showed off on the last show. My brother had got me the Henry Jones on the motorcycle with Indy, and the plane when they were going through the tunnel. This one is actually the well. They used to call it the Well of Souls. I think is what they called it. It's where the Ark of the Covenant
that where they open it?
So it comes with Sala, it comes with Marion. This is the one where the snakes are everywhere, and then they're trying to get out, and then they escape through that convenient hole that they found buried under the sand temple somehow, and then
Perfect.
And then he has a fist fight with a German bald dude who ends up getting chopped up by
Plane.
plane blades.
They love
80s,
doing that. They
you know?
love doing that. That's a what a move. Every time there's always some spinning propeller
Yep.
and somebody's getting chopped up.
But I mean, if anybody that knows me knows I love Indiana Jones almost as much as Star Wars.
I love
So
Indy. Indy's so good.
That's a big.
I'm
dip
excited
right
to
there
build
for me.
those. I'll have to do a Lego time lapse for the two of those sets, and then Joe is foaming at the mouth because I still haven't built the Lego Optimus Prime that I've been sitting on for over
Optimus
a year.
Prime.
So
Yeah.
Give me
roll out.
yeah. Give me
We
some
must protect the Allspark from the Decepticons. Autobots transform and roll out.
You got the touch. You got the power.
80s, man.
We do have a lot of action
Something
going on in
about
the
it.
comments. I want to just throw in there. So, where are we? From the dungeon said, new Call of Duty feels smooth. I've heard nothing but bad things about the new Call
I
of
will
Duty.
not be buying that game this year.
No?
Sorry.
Yeah, I think I'm sure Hell's has bought it, and
Hell's
maybe-
has bought
I
it.
wanna hear-
Little Joe buy it?
Hell no.
No,
No, it's
Joe's
not.
not
That's not for Joe.
Call of Duty's whack.
Hell's might convince Joe to actually buy it because there's
What
zombies
about
in
Yao?
there. No, I haven't seen Yao on PlayStation forever.
He's dead. That's it.
Where's Yao?
PlayStation
Put out an
4.
APB on Yao.
Put the Yao out there.
Beyond that, Phil Dunphy said sick thumbnail again. Credit to Hell's actually
Hells,
for creating that thumbnail again. What else do we have here?
I have a great one. I saw one before actually. Stephen Bias. Read that one.
He said, "What the hell is Joe wearing?" Acknowledge him, Joe. Acknowledge him. So I guess Stephen Bias is a Roman Reigns fan.
It's American Nightmare. Nightmare.
true.
Family, yeah.
WWE
He's trying out for
I love
American
that-
Gladiator
that-
revival. Look at him.
That looks like a callback to like Team Angle when Kurt Angle would come out in the suits.
It's one of my favorite
Perk Angle.
I like
things
that.
that they brought out.
Hey,
for 40
don't
Rows.
don't cast aspersions on
not
Kurt Angle there.
I love
Um,
Kurt Angle.
It's nothing.
the best.
I think everybody loves calling him Perk Angle because they
No,
love
no,
that
no.
era of him fucking stage diving, doing front flips, just to do.
He was doing some
He
crazy
said that's
shit.
one of the few things that kind of hurts
Regret.
his feelings. is that
Listen,
name.
we respect him. It's
Uh,
all in fun.
We have Jacob actually 23rd Productions said that he's on my side with Ghostbusters.
Is that Jacob Sherritts?
Yeah, that's Jacob. Well,
We
don't
don't ca-
fucking dox him now. He's
Oh.
Jacob Sherritts. And fucking, he's doxed.
I was fucking yelling at him in the comments when I was watching the show when I was driving to wherever I was driving, I think Connecticut, and I was just that was a whole Star Wars thing. I'm not even gonna go there, but
Oh yeah, what did he say
Jacob
about
gets
Star
my
Wars?
fucking motor running.
He said Mando wasn't that
I know.
good. I think
Joe's looking at me because
Said
I've
Mando
said
wasn't
the
that
F
good.
word probably a dozen times since it started. I only pointed out we got to watch ourselves.
Just
But
doesn't
I
matter.
can't.
Yeah, you know what? When we start getting paid for the show, that's when we'll stop saying fuck.
Yeah.
How about
We're
that?
not
Tell
gonna
your
stop
friends.
saying fuck at all.
Incentivize us to stop saying fuck.
I knew pointing it out was gonna make it worse. So
I haven't said it yet.
Yeah, well, that's because you
Joe's
haven't said
been good.
anything yet, Joe.
Joe wants to. Yeah.
Listen, let's talk about what Nintendo announced. They announced that at some point we're going to get a live-action Legend of Zelda, another game series that Chris hasn't played, nor do you care about. But it's not about you
Zelda?
right now.
If it's
That's
done
fun.
well,
I'm
it can
happy
be
to
fantastic.
sit on the sidelines and fucking control the cameras here.
And what the cameras?
And not
Yeah, help.
So we need a counter. We need a body count.
Oh, it
That'd
would be
great.
through
I
the
love
body.
it. I
I
love it.
you know
I'll
what?
tell
I
you-
keep forgetting because you guys say
Here's
it,
what
and
we're
then I
gonna
feel
do.
like it's okay. So
From
you
the
stop saying
dungeon,
it.
I'm calling you out right now. This episode, from here on out, you're going to get
Who
a free
tallies?
audio book if you're able to tally how many F-bombs that we do.
Yeah, whoever
at
does
the
that.
end. Whoever nails the exact...
All right, here's number one, the Fuck Room Podcast. Hey, there you go.
I need an
There's a
AI.
free-
Probably 9 or 10 right now.
I need an AI clip of
we're,
every time it's dropped.
I
Just
mean,
every
5
single
minutes in, we're over 20.
At least.
All right.
It's
We'll
a sin.
endeavor to be better.
All right, but-
You want to talk about Zelda? Go ahead.
There's not a whole lot to talk about it.
All right, I got a question.
It's
then.
just weird.
got-
What kind of like,
Hold-
I don't know. Yeah.
Can I ask?
Yeah.
So they announced Zelda, but they also were specific to say live action,
Yes.
right? What do you guys think about that?
Honestly, if they pull it off, they could tell an awesome story. I remember years ago they did a April Fool's joke where they showed a trailer of Ocarina of Time styled like Legend of Zelda live action, and it looked fantastic. I was like, I'm pissed that this isn't a real thing. So if they can pull that off and capture the charm and especially the soundtrack, which it's very tough, I think, with video game soundtracks to try to get them onto some I think it might be similar to like anime theme songs. Like it's very tough to get those into live action because of licensing or whatever. But if they can pull it off, I think that
If they don't have the music,
Oh,
I'm
it
out.
has to have everything. I mean, the
out.
Mario game had everything other than the fact that the voiceovers were crappy.
I want to see live action Gerudo women, don't you? Come on.
My thing is it's probably going to be young Link. They're probably going to go with like an origin story, and he's in Hyrule, and then Princess Zelda gets captured, things like that. So if they're ever going to do it, I think now's the time. Now's the time where they can actually make the technology look as good as it needs to kind of make it replicate the earlier games. I don't know if they'll go, Legend of Zelda, Link to the Past, but any story that they choose from there's so many options they can choose in terms of timelines for Legend of Zelda. I'm
If
excited.
they want a rich story, I would say Ocarina of Time would probably be like the best timeline. I mean, they could go Breath of the Wild.
The Legend
and
of
stuff.
Zelda, for me, has always been top 3 of my favorite franchises of all time for video games. Not even
The
close.
theme song's my favorite video game thing of all time.
It is a cool theme.
Dun, 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 dun,
Well, that's a different one.
dun, 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 dun. So you know what gives me hope is that Miyamoto is directly connected to producing the
Like
movie.
he was with Mario Brothers, yes.
Right. So
Blah.
that's it's not a licensing. It's not somebody else picking it up. It's,
Yeah.
it's a direct. So funny enough, Nintendo is producing the movie,
Yeah.
and Sony is distributing the movie.
Here's what I
believe.
think that we've learned over the past maybe 15 years, that when movies come out of like Resident Evil or Transformers and they take a license and they put their own spin on it, the fans automatically hate it. The movies are terrible. And now you're starting to see the backlash actually pay off, because the last Transformers was all Generation 1 Transformers, which the fans have been vying for. Unfortunately, the fans did not like the all-female cast of Ghostbusters, so they went back to the drawing board, and they brought back the original cast of the Ghostbusters. So it's starting to become a thing where it's like Hollywood, for a long time, they would want to change it because they didn't want to make it too predictable. You already played the game. Why would you want to watch it live action? You already know what's going to happen.
Right.
But it's to the point where we want to see the video game in live action, and we don't want it messed with.
I
Just
think
keep the origin story there, keep it true to the video game, and just add the elements that you need to. Don't completely go 180 and give us something that we don't want.
right. You guys said the word charm multiple times, and I think that there's something in the feeling of the games when you play them that's there that should translate, and it can translate, whether it's the music or just the general tone of what's happening on screen, and not diverting from the established arc. Like you said, the roles, who is what, and who are they pushing towards the front?
Well, I just think about live action. Who are you going to cast as Zelda, as Link, as Ganon? Who are you going to?
That's
Everybody
some of
kept
the,
saying-
that's actually
Who are you gonna
what they're
call?
talking about in the comments.
Everybody
here.
said Tom Holland.
No, he's
No.
too old.
So I was like, what?
Too old to get the training.
Well, no, there was
The only way Tom Holland would work is if they did an Ocarina of Time and he's like Link
older
after he
Link,
gets the
adult
Master
Link,
Sword
maybe. Yeah.
and switches to like the older Link.
Are they going to be, is it Japanese or are they?
Well,
is
I mean, it's not
American?
Earth, so he's like an elf.
He's an
or
elf.
like a-
Right.
you know?
Well,
In the game, he
the
does not-
actors is what what the question was. Is the actor going to be that?
I mean, they're
From
gonna-
Japan,
they're gonna do
I would
whatever they
say-
want,
No.
No,
Yeah,
I would
it's-
say with Zelda, the characters have that American look. To be honest,
they're
so
not-
I don't
they're
think
not,
they don't have that anime.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, Japanese style look.
No.
They're definitely, I guess
Mario's
whatever.
a
Caucasian.
I mean, this is
Japanese
a game
game and he's a
series that has
fat
like
Italian
bird
plumber.
people and rock people.
Well,
and
again,
shit,
right.
Yeah, it ultimately
right.
won't matter.
Apparently, Japanese people think Italians all have mustaches. We're plumbers and we're fat and short.
Boppity
listen.
boopity. I mean, they got one of those things, right?
That was the one. That was the one you could relate with the most.
Cool.
Go to Salpino's, you'll fucking get that same impression. Right?
Boppity boops.
Man,
Well, that's pretty much.
There are mushrooms there too.
It'd be interesting. I'm curious. I guess
I'm very curious.
100%.
I'll be there day
I'm
one.
open-minded
I will
and I'm
be there day
hopeful.
one.
You know,
Yeah.
My girl,
I mean, they
Sam will
learned their
not let
lesson.
me not
Take my money.
Look at they just showed off pictures for the new Avatar: The Last Airbender live action,
Just didn't watch that yet.
and that looks pretty impressive. I mean, I've only seen the screenshots, but if they are able to pull off what they did with the One Piece live action, I think we're in for a treat.
Well, wait, there are some more comments I want to get through about Zelda, even though I don't give a shit about Zelda. I feel like I need to justice.
Chris
the
just hates
comments.
everything that's good in the
Well,
world.
we're also
No,
going to
it's
talk
just,
about one of
you
you.
know.
This is the I Hate Everything Chris podcast.
That's not true. I
it's-
don't hate it. I just don't, But
You
again,
just hate it.
I'm still talking about it. I'm
You
trying to
just
tell you.
hate it. You
I'm
just-
just
they
trying
just
to tell
said
you
hate.
what the comments say.
the
All right, the
comments.
comments. We got some good shit going on here.
And this
you
is Chris's
motherfuckers. They're part of the show.
There it
This
is,
is his
another one.
time to shine.
Not
This
at
is his
all.
day.
What do we got here?
been 10 years.
Well, we're talking about Grand Theft Auto, so it is kind of like a coronation.
No, he
but
doesn't even. Yeah. He doesn't
hold on,
give
there
a
was
shit.
now I can't fucking find. Oh, so that was the question. McNux has a McNux, good
Hey.
friend of Rob there.
Hey, Lux.
He said. So he's pretty much saying, does Link talk? He said, as long as Link doesn't talk.
Yeah, but he could have
That's
a whole show
how-
where the guy's like,
how- I know, like how does that work when you start asking the deeper questions?
Look,
Because-
hold on. If Chris Pratt could be Mario already, I think that whole barrier.
But Mario
has been-
had dialogue throughout the games, like more than what Link has had. Link has had nothing.
Link's never spoken.
you know what would be really sick?
That's really it.
If they did an animated Legend of Zelda made by Gendy Tartakovsky, who did Samurai Jack, because he is the master of telling stories where no speech needs to be made. They've had entire episodes of Samurai Jack where nothing is said, but the entire story is driven by the sound effects of nature or the slashing of steel against robots and stuff. Like, I think if anybody could pull off a not talking Link show, it would be Gendy Tartakovsky.
You know who would be a good Zelda? The little girl who played Princess Leia in Obi-Wan. I love her. I thought she was great.
You think she would play who?
See that?
Zelda.
Zelda.
Yeah, maybe
Zelda,
Zelda
but
do
Zelda
that.
had big blue eyes.
Okay, so give her big blue eyes.
Well, listen, that's where you start getting into the weeds of
you
like.
can't put context on
It
somebody?
had
What
me-
year is it?
Yeah, I mean, look at
What
what's
does
her
it
name?
have to be? What?
Syndulla. She doesn't actually have those blue eyes like that.
She's the
Well, no,
green
Harrison
eyes.
Dula has green eyes.
Well, whatever. Green eyes and then fucking what's his name?
But tell
Now
me
you're
that
making
she
me curse.
looked right with the green
They're going to
eyes.
make The Rock Ganon.
Well, they want to make the Rock
He could be
president. Bro, that's what I'm saying.
So actually, we have
Jade Cargill is the Gerudo
Yeah, yeah.
woman.
You little there, little Link.
Honestly,
you
that
little
would be a sick
jabroni.
casting. Tell me Jade Cargill as a Gerudo woman wouldn't be like the perfect cast.
Jade Cargill as Ken, and I thought it was what you were
No, not
about to
Ganon.
say. I don't know why. Speaking of which, actually, I don't know why it's so funny to me. Jade Cargill as Ganon.
Ganondorf.
You know?
Yeah,
But speaking of which, actually, from the dungeon said Tom Cruise should be Ganon. Stephen Bias said, this made me laugh. Stephen Bias said, I'm still in therapy over the Halo TV series.
Paul Giamatti.
Paul Giamatti is the Rhino.
They've just done. They can't even go
Actually,
back
that's,
past-
you know what, that's
Master Chief has been done such a disservice.
whoever can get this wins the free audiobook of this this episode. Worst casting. Whoever can name the worst casting in the comments that we all agree on.
Yeah,
Paul Giamatti as Rhino is already out.
that's.
Oh my
that's
god,
A
no,
bad.
So
that's the worst.
They even
Whoever
made a
was
joke
the
of it in
worst
next movie.
miscast, you can, and Tom Cruise as the Last Samurai is also out just by default.
I can't be a Chappelle joke.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so beyond that though, what else did they say? I mean, man, that Halo show. Do you like the Halo show?
We're gonna go there.
Real quick, I liked the first episode. After they took his helmet off, I was like, stop
Should have
it.
never taken the helmet off.
If you're going to take it,
Never.
it has to be more meaning, not just because he's flying in space.
He looked like a fucking third string linebacker for the fucking Minnesota Vikings.
It's not about the
you
look.
know
It's not
why?
about the look. It's
But that's
about
not what
do
Chief
you-
is. I don't want
No.
to see Chief's
Do you-
face.
Hold on.
I don't want to know what he
It's a-
looks
but again,
like.
It's about the significance of when he would take his mask off
Yes.
and what he would take his... Like when they did it in Mando. He did it 1 or 2 times in Mando, and it meant something. The fact that every other 10 seconds he had his mask off, what pissed me off the most is he was walking around enemy territory without his helmet on.
Never.
Chief would never do that. Never do that.
You know why he never
I was
took
like,
his
I'm
fucking
done
helmet?
after
You know
that.
why he never took his helmet off? You know why he never did?
Well, I mean, wasn't it also like an oxygen
pimple?
thing too? Like,
No. I mean, he was
breathe.
human. He could breathe. He was always prepared.
Yes.
Because they were attacked so many times by surprise
Yes.
that he always needed to be ready, and he felt that no matter what, it's go time. They were at war. And then at the end of 1, he took his helmet off. It was it was two things. One, you had defeated the Flood and the Covenant. You basically had one at the end of Halo 1. And also, that was the moment where Bungie said they wanted the player to actually kind of acknowledge him beyond just you being him. Their intent was, you are Chief. That was the main reason behind the design of it.
Right.
And at the very end, they felt like they did such a good job. Yes, there was a moment where he was going to take it off, but they were not going to show you his face because you were still him. But that was his time.
Always behind or something, right?
That was his time to rest.
Head, and that was pretty much it.
But after Harvest and after if you read the books, he never took it off. Once he got that fucking suit on, not once. And I know damn it, that's like number 15.
Yeah.
Real quick, I just want to touch base about the suit because you said the suit. 343 just released the Halo 1 armor for $20.
I just heard that.
And the community's in an uproar. I don't really play Halo Infinite anymore. It was good for 2 months, and then it had no staying power because of the loot system. The season pass every time they would refresh it.
Fucking maps, bro.
It's just a waste
Maps.
of like
Need
money.
more maps. Yeah, I can't do capture the flag on
bro.
Zanzibar anymore.
So it's not really the maps. It's just that there's no
Bizarre.
incentive to play. You're not getting anything cool. Like, you're getting cosmetic stuff that's like whatever. It's a change of my gauntlets, or it's a change of my helmet, or I'm getting a different shader. There was nothing really like to keep
Bragging
you drive.
right.
Yeah.
I remember reaching level 50 in Halo 2, Halo 3, I believe.
It's like when you got the Hayabusa armor in 3.
that
It's
was
like,
a big fucking brag.
and you got the flaming head, and it's like, this guy's not messing around, you know?
Right. There's no more of that. Now
No,
you can just
I
buy
don't
your
have
way
that.
in, and it's
That's all I had about Halo.
It's a sin.
moving on.
I just want to get back to some of these comments here because we already have some good contenders for this audiobook. So Eric or Gruffy says Topher Grace's Venom.
That was pretty bad.
That's pretty bad miscast.
Pretty terrible.
McKnox has Scarlett Johansson as Black Widow.
Oh, no way.
What?
I thought most people
Why?
liked her in that role. I didn't see any of the shit with her. in
Iron
it,
Man
so.
What
2?
about Robert Pattinson as Batman? Oof.
That John Favreau scene
hey,
where she's fucking taking off
I
her
already
shit?
have my pick. but
Scarlett
I
Johansson's
know.
sexy.
I already have my pick. I can't say my pick, because then they'll just. You want me to say my pick?
You can say your pick.
Wait,
We can-
we're gonna this is fucking 5 minutes into the question. We haven't even gotten the full tilt from the audience
All
yet.
right, let him keep going.
Yeah, well, all
Fine.
right. We'll edge you a little
Just
bit.
think about your pick in your head right now and lock it in.
I can't even think of anything.
I'm
right
trying
Lock
so
it
hard.
in.
When you tell me to think of something, my brain
it
just
in.
shuts
Yeah,
off.
I can't.
Just think superheroes, cartoons, video
Hey,
games.
Vin, let's put you on the spot. You start us off.
Yeah, dude, yeah. Welcome to the Break Room Podcast. Tell us about yourself, Vin.
All right, in the vein of superheroes and stuff. Vin, did you finish season 2 of Loki on Disney Plus?
Fuck yeah, I did.
There's another F-bomb.
I don't
How
even
many
care.
we-
Now we're
just-
going. I'm up to like
response
20.
All right, let me hear.
I'm up to 20.
Let me hear the score. Let me hear your thoughts.
All right, Loki season 2. It's probably the best Marvel content to come out after No Way Home, I would say, because it's been a lull. No Way Home was a big hit. I enjoyed it very much. Loki was such a. I'm trying to think of exactly what I could say without spoiling. I don't know. I don't know if we're really there.
Spoil
Nobody
it.
really cares.
No, that's fine.
Loki does two things at the same time. One, it carries on what they did in season 1 beautifully. It's a direct continuation. It continues to build Loki as a character and as an important character. It doesn't divert or try to make somebody else the topic of that show. It doesn't make Sylvie the star of the show, where I think maybe some people would expect that based on something like what you said before about Ghostbusters. They pivot to these other characters with using the big name, and then they pivot. Did not do that. The second thing it does is it does mechanically help Marvel reset or come to a new phase. I think if you looked at season 1 of Loki and season 2, it is the beginning and the end of everything that's happened after Endgame. And we're going to enter the next new big arc of Marvel. And they have a lot to play with. We've talked about Fantastic Four.
Yeah, X-Men.
Talked about X-Men. It makes all of those things possible, and it does it without seeming forced, corny, or you're almost not focused on those things, but the impact of the story being told ties directly back to even Avengers, the first Avengers, or even the first Thor movie. and they reference what's glorious purpose. Loki says that multiple times. They really tied a bow on Loki's full arc. So he's probably the best built character at this point because he's got so much storytelling and so much direct storytelling. I would highly recommend it to anybody. Very enjoyable. It's a lot of fun. It's funny. It brings in, Rob, you're going to have to help me out here.
Ki Hoi Kwan.
Yes.
Yeah, so I've only seen the first episode. I finally started watching it with my dad last night.
Nice.
He's hilarious. I love Ki Hoi Kwan. I think he's like great personally and professionally. Because I also saw Everything Everywhere All at Once. I thought he knocked it out of the park. I've been a fan of his since Temple of Doom. I thought he was great even as a kid, and of course Goonies. But it's just like his matter of fact, like delivery about everything. And like he's just like, you're not gonna live, and your skin's gonna come off, and it's like,
oh, it's great. He's like, so what we have to do is this, and then we do this, and so can we do it? And he's just like, no. It's just perfect. It's so.
But then he's like talking to him in the future and the past at the same time, and he's like, "Wait, no, I have it here." And he's like, "That makes a lot of sense."
They play. They cleverly play with time and dimension very well in a very understandable way for the audience. So it's complex because at times you're like, "Where the fuck?" Like this is
in a believable way too. It's not like like Back to the Future where it's.
Right. It is definitely well thought out. I think there are definitely some rules they're trying to build and follow. And the ending just capped off really great. It really it established why things were the way they were. It established and does try to explain why why is there confusion or I know it sounds kind of like retconning stuff, but it makes like Doctor Strange make a little more sense. It makes some of these movies have a little bit more of a tangibility where you're like, oh, I understand like why things are so fucked up, why No Way Home, why Doctor Strange, why WandaVision are happening. So I think it's the best. It's some of the best of Marvel. It's what they're great at. They're really good at. Even if it's retconning or whatever, they're really good at going back, finding key threads, and pulling them forward, and making it matter and
it's almost
having
like
an impact.
The Clone Wars series to the Marvel's prequels. That's
a great example. That's a great way to describe it. So, I would say there's a rejuvenated hope for what can come. I think we're all looking forward to what's going to come from Marvel. I think everybody's going to want to see the Fantastic Four. Casting announcement. We know it's going to happen. The SAG-AFTRA.
I want to be the thing.
I've
already built like him.
The strike is over, and they delayed on all of these announcements and all of these things because of the strike. Now that it's done, we're inevitably going to get the Fantastic Four casting, and I think based on the casting, that's what's going to bring hope. Because right now, I think Marvel's kind of dead. It's getting beat up in the variety. The audience is kind of worn out.
People are turning against Bob Iger, too.
Bob Iger's getting it on the chin. That's not fucking fair.
Strike and all that stuff.
I'm not going to get into
Bob Iger. Bob Iger was everyone was loving on him like a year or two ago, and now, after the strike thing. And
well, that's not true.
I read an article saying, like, is Bob Iger finally, like, done or something like that?
So dramatic.
It is. Well,
he literally
like
helped
Aaron
build
Rodgers.
what Disney is now.
Poor
he was
you.
gone for 2 years, and in those 2 years, seemingly they imploded because and we're not going to do all that. But I think Bob Iger is a very intelligent person. I think he understands why fans come to the products that he purchased. He was the one that acquired Star Wars, and he's the one that acquired Marvel. I know the first Star Wars movies didn't hit, but they kind of regrouped and they got the right people in charge, and I think that's what's going to happen with Marvel too. So I'm excited for the future of Marvel. I'm a fan, so I'm an easy sell. But definitely watch Loki.
Give me a score.
Loki is a show.
Season 2.
Loki season 2. Man.
Now you're making him think.
Yeah, now I have to come up with... I don't want to have to justify. I just want to come up with a straight score. It's in between an 8 and a 9. So I hate to keep giving things 8s.
8.5.
I don't want to give halves. It's a 9. It's a 9.
You don't
If you
give
watch
halves.
it, it's a 9.
Of course you give halves.
I'm trying not to anymore.
How does
I
it
think it's a
compare
plus-
to the first season overall? Would you give the first season the same score you did the
Yes.
second season?
First season, definitely. I think the first season was strong on its own. I think it was a lot of fun and all the things that they were messing with and all the the events coming off of Avengers and what we saw in Endgame and that direct tie-in. And this kind of on its own being in this uncharted territory, very cool. And that last episode was like a 10. That was a really fucking good episode, a really great finale, a true bow on the story they were trying to tell, and not leaving you lingering with
Post credits scene.
no post credits. We're in the next. What is coming now is new. So Deadpool is interestingly enough, the only 2024 Marvel movie. Everything else is pushed beyond 2024 because of the strike and some other things.
Oh.
That's good.
It's
We
gonna
should
be
get
a very slow year for.
But we should get one movie and one fucking show.
What show are we getting?
They haven't even announced anything for streaming platform yet.
Oh.
So they're in full
I think
reset.
they realize
they're fully
that they've been putting
brakes
too
are
much stuff
on.
out. Yeah.
They're out over their skis. Way too much storytelling. Even Captain America, with the Falcon, that's pushed. That's getting full reshoots. Apparently they're reshooting the 3 biggest scenes in the movie. And I have a feeling it has something to do, with what we're watching now. And based on the feedback from the audience, they're very aware that stuff is not hitting. Just isn't. And then to kind of put the bow on the Marvel thing, the Marvels is out.
I heard that there's a huge, and can't spoil it because I don't know what it is and I haven't seen it yet.
Either.
A post-credit scene that is like jaw-dropping, like world-shattering. So I think that might be the next introduction to the the wedding of the beak for the next.
Surprised
phase.
nobody said they wanted to go see that. I mean, I don't.
I'm gonna go see it on Monday. I think,
Sam
with
wants
Joe.
to go see it for sure. She loved Kamala. She likes Captain Marvel. So it's actually
I
one
need
of those
to
things
watch
where
that.
I think I don't want to call it pandering, but it's a full lead female cast. It's a female villain. It's 3
Kamala?
female. Kamala Khan is one of the Marvel.
The Ugandan
Miss
giant.
Miss Marvel.
When I hear Kamala, that's the only one. Back in my day, we had one Kamala. Now I know of 3.
Now there's a couple. Yeah.
Yeah, there's too many Kamalas.
But the one thing I'm actually looking at that is driving my interest even more is that the critic score is low, but the audience score is high. And usually that actually indicates a good thing.
Fans
Because I
like
feel like when the critics are high, the popcorn
If IGN
score
hate
is
it, then
low.
it's probably good.
Yeah. So overall, highly recommend if you guys have any interest in Marvel and what's in the future. If you've watched any of the movies in the past, I think it's worth definitely checking out Loki.
All right, Chris, I know you've been frothing at the mouth. Why don't you
Can't wait.
tell us and tell the crowd and tell our viewers, which is the meat and potatoes of our podcast tonight, what did Rockstar announce this week, Christopher?
Well, Rockstar announced that. Well, they've already announced that they were working on the game after the big leak, but they announced now that the trailer is coming. So they announced the announcement.
Trailer of what?
Trailer for Grand Theft Auto 6.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, we've all been waiting that. We know that I am the Grand Theft Auto, aficionado, if you will.
For sure.
Vin as well. And Rob's put a lot of time into GTA as well.
I have, and it's funny. It was before we were really hanging out and stuff, but I did have it on the 360. I played through the entire campaign. I actually created a character on the day one of the online, but I went around. I robbed a couple of stores. I was like, all right, this is kind of boring, and I dropped it. Where you guys kept going and did all the missions and stuff. I just
Gross. We were gross.
And then it's amazing with that game because it's the only game I can think of that I literally moved it from a 360 to a PS3 to a PS4 and then to a PS5.
That's
where I've had the
nuts.
same character for all those years, and it's insane.
built to last.
El Bigote del Diablo, my
Yep.
my online character, which is crazy.
Yeah, you know what Rob's
Devil's
character
mustache.
is? Rob's character is, well, my guy has to have, all the best material possessions. And I'm like, that's you in real life.
It's
know?
true.
It's just-
It's I have the DeLorean and gold and everything.
Yeah.
And all the stuff, but it's funny because my character's got like the Dia de los Muertos makeup on his
Yes, he
face.
does.
And he wears like the best
white
suits
suit.
and everything, the white suit with the black shirt and the red tie and I call him El Bigote del Diablo, which is the devil's mustache.
This game has been out for 10 years.
10 good
years.
years.
That's crazy.
10 great.
He's been
I
playing
was-
that. I've been playing Destiny.
Listen,
So much better than Destiny, too.
Yeah.
It's such a
There's
better-
just-
There's a
so
lot of
many
more
measures.
there's so much more to
replayability.
enjoy
I don't know.
about GTA. GTA is
It's
everything that you make it.
It's a sandbox. I get it.
To Chris,
a
it's
real
valet
sandbox.
parking in the Kyle
Chris-
Perico heist.
Chris
over
is
there.
the I've never seen.
Yeah.
Chris deserves all the flowers for it. I've never seen someone play Grand Theft Auto the way Chris does, and that was for single player.
Watching
Never
him
mind
play
online.
Grand Theft Auto online is like how you envision when you were a kid and you'd have all your toys and you just come up with like a world and you would just
The most
make
chaotic.
and you would come up with like a story for them, and he just does that in the world, in the streets of Grand Theft Auto 5.
Like, watch us. You see this guy? Watch this guy. Ready? I'm gonna fucking get this guy, and he'll
that's
do it,
right.
and it'll be like a 30-minute thing. It's not just like real quick.
Oh,
It'll be like-
I'll wait
he'll
all night.
hunt.
I'll stay up till 5 in the morning
He'll-
battling people.
He's a sicko.
And we
He's a
text
sick
back and
man.
forth because you could text in GTA, and I'll kill somebody. Like there was the one guy because for the people who don't know, so what been doing is I dress up as a valet, and then I scare off the actual valet, and I wait in front of the casino, and then I can't tell you
So-
how many people I go off the
wait.
radar so they can't see me, because that's part of it. Is you either go off the radar or you call Amani and you go out of sight.
Oh, everybody in the comment section thought they were smart. They're like, "Don't you know that
Don't
your head
you know?
appears
Yeah,
above
no.
the thing?"
Trust me, I know. They
Chris
have no
knows.
idea that you're
Just-
standing
you don't
there.
know,
They walk right
really.
up to you, and then I tase them, and then I kill them, and it's brings
So
great joy.
Did the valet thing come from the fact that we figured out the FBI outfit thing? Where did the whole valet thing come from?
Up. Well, the valet thing, I don't know where that came from. I think it is, yeah. I mean, I was just like looking through the different heist outfits that you get, and I saw the valet outfit, and I was like, this would be perfect. This is funny.
Because we built SUVs to look like the FBI SUVs. We got the FBI outfit. You
My-
lost
my-
it?
I lost the outfit.
My van would
I
look
know.
like the
Wow.
A-Team van.
Oh, you did the A-Team.
What is it?
The A-Team van.
Oh, yeah.
I love
yeah,
it when
yeah.
a plan comes together.
Well, before that, my favorite trick, before doing the valet thing, my favorite thing would do is when people were buying a shirt, I would just go and drive a car right in front of the doorway and then trap them inside. And you would always see them come try to walk out of the store.
Nightmare.
And then the door will like rattle, but they're just stuck
Oh my
inside. And
God.
it's the funniest
Terrible.
thing. I don't
He's the
know.
ultimate griefer.
He's not happy if
yeah.
he's not able to like fuck somebody's day.
I
up.
love fucking, but that's the thing
Thirty.
is there's no game where like you could literally be like driving in the back of a truck. Like I remember like what really my big GTA 5 moment at least. We were like in a truck, a back of a box truck, and some fucking guy fucking drives a plane into like a full size 747 just into us, and the fucking and I was like first person view I think when they first introduced that, and he just like everything was all that like it's the only game where like again a plane can come falling out of the sky while you're banging a hooker fucking on the ledge of a cliff, like it's the only game that lets you do any of these things. There's no other game that has this many vehicles, that has this many. I mean, there's games with a lot of guns, but it's got a lot of guns in GTA's. It's got all those vehicles. It's got all of the NPCs, all of the outfits, all of the assets that are in that game.
Now, I'm going to ask this question, though, about online. So since this new game is going to be announced and we're probably not going to see it for a good while, what are your predictions on what's going to happen to online? Do you think that's going to get the facelift? Do you think it's going to go offline for a few days until they are able to revamp it? Does it get completely replaced? Does it become another map that you can travel to or something like that?
The way that I see it, they already a couple of years ago separated Grand Theft Auto 5 from GTA Online. Grand Theft Auto Online. They I think when it came to PS5 or PS4, I forget at what point, but they started actually referring to them as different names. It was no longer like GTA 5 Online, it's GTA Online. And, there have always been those rumors of if they'll do like the Rockstar Americas where you can go all over the world of Rockstar. Because if you think about the world of Rockstar, you have Liberty City is New York. You have Vice City is Florida. You have San Andreas is
Vegas.
Is California. And they have Vegas. Los Venturas was Vegas. And then if you really want to include the whole world of Rockstar, you have the whole like south border where Lemoyne and all the places from Red Dead Redemption. Technically, you could say, Saint Denis is New Orleans.
We're going to Tahiti.
Yeah. Well, and then Cuba would be whatever that island, Guarma. And then, Carcer City, which was from Manhunt, is like Chicago. And they refer to Carcer City in Grand Theft Auto 3 or Vice City, I think. They refer to on the radio. So my point is that they have a lot of cities in this world. It'd be cool to see if somebody can compile the map of Rockstar, like, compared
It's
to
out there.
America. I'm sure
Grand
it is
Theft
out there.
Global.
But with everything, not just Grand Theft Auto.
No, and a continuation of the Red Dead map because that's Louisiana.
That's what I'm saying. You have that, like Mississippi and whatever. So anyway, to answer your question, I think for online, it's already kind of becoming its own game. And what I would love to see is you don't lose everything. You don't have to start all over. I'm
jumping in. If I lose everything, I'm going to be fucking really pissed
I'd
off.
be pretty pissed
because
too.
there was 10 years of fucking
Yeah, but
earning.
for someone like me that thinks about that, I'd jump in and I played a little bit with you guys. I don't have shit. I have nothing.
That's so hold
your
on.
fault.
Let me get there.
Hold on, but
It
the only
your
thing
fault,
is,
though.
like, do you not want an upgraded engine? Do you not want an upgraded world?
Oh, I do.
Want
Yeah, but I want them to
It
upgrade
will.
everything that I bought.
So here's the
Yeah.
here's the thing, because right now GTA Online is even separated into last gen and next gen. They made that switch where there is a last gen version of GTA
I
Online.
thought they
If you're-
dropped that finally. I think they deactivated.
There's two different servers then?
I think the old one is still whatever it is, and the new one's getting all the new updates. Because yes, you can't
they
do the
discontinued that.
high speed cars.
Yep.
I think you could still play GTA Online if you have a PS4. I don't think that it's been shut down.
PS4, yes.
That would be big news if they're like,
The
we
PS3
shut
and the
down-
360 versions, I believe, are shut
oh,
down.
that's beyond last
Just
gen.
saying.
That doesn't exist. GTA Online on 360 was such trash. That was so hard to do. Even though I grinded
Not-
through it and I
was
loved
good.
it.
It was the best we had at the time. But
We had imagination with it. We knew, we felt like what was coming. But it would be unacceptable at this point, based
lose
on
all
all of the upgrades, all of the evolution, to just drop it. I would definitely assume after this game comes out, GTA 6, they'll go back and start to either. I don't anticipate it happening simultaneously. The focus right now is GTA 6. And that does
then
not
maybe-
involve a multiplayer element.
So let's actually
I
go
don't
there.
think,
Let's,
I don't think
let's
that's
talk
true. I
about.
think- well, hold on. I didn't answer the fucking question. So
What question?
I think that they will upgrade the engine and pretty much allow you to join. Do you want to be in San Andreas, or do you want to be in, if this takes place in Vice City, let's just say, and you don't have all of your stuff when you go to Miami because you're in a different state across the fucking country, so you don't have all of your cars in the garage. I'm gonna stop saying F. You don't have all your cars in the garage.
It's not possible.
And then maybe you pay like $80,000 to transfer your car from California to Florida, and then that's where it is. It stays like in that
I
state.
guess it could incentivize them to start spending the insane amounts of money a lot of people have, because now you got to buy like your
pay
DeLorean
to
for
move.
one map. Buy a DeLorean for this map.
That too.
Now you have multiples of cars
No.
and reasons for it.
I should be able to, like Chris said, transfer,
Maybe even
stuff.
put a timer on it. Like it takes, maybe if you want to, I don't know, make it so that you don't have this imbalance. Maybe it takes a day for your car to come from over there to here in real time or
I'm
something.
Johnny
like
on
that.
the spot.
Even though it'd be annoying, it would
that's
be
fine.
a
There
way
should
to
be a-
you can keep your stuff. If you want to go
They
back
need
to
to
San
level-
Andreas and play there, you can. But if you want to play in the new place, you got to bring your stuff over there gradually, and then you have it's there, and then you have your stuff there.
To Joe's point, they need to level the playing field in a sense, but also with GTA Online, and this would be a criticism for even the single player, they need to evolve the mission structures. So, like I said, it's not like a fetch and return kind of situation. They need to make sure that there's depth that's going to draw people into play, because I think like originally we would play because there was great shit to buy, and the game's driven by money. There'd be great things to purchase, so you would grind to get the money to purchase the thing. But I don't think that's enough now to make people keep coming back.
They're going to add so many new types of like businesses. You know, they already have all the different drug businesses. They have the nightclub. They have the biker thing. They have the vehicle warehouse. They have the cargo. They have all these different like types of businesses that you can create, and they keep adding them. The agency, the facility, this, that. Are you pulling up my stats?
Yeah, I'm pulling up all our
dude,
GTA
like,
stats. Sorry.
You know, I think they're just going to keep adding new types of businesses, just like Red Dead. I mean, Red Dead, they started adding those careers, and it's like you could be a moonshiner, you could be a trader, you could be this, that. I think they're just going to come up with like a whole bunch of different types of businesses. I think a lot of the stuff from the RP servers, because they bought one of the biggest RP servers, right? A lot of that stuff might be implemented. But I do think that they're going to enhance the engine. I think they'll upgrade the engine and maybe keep the map. And I think it would be sick if they just thrown into, like, do you want to go to the New York City, Liberty City map? That would be pretty dope, you know, if they eventually add that all in. But, I mean, no matter what, we're going to have plenty to sink our teeth into with GTA 6. People
really
have been
think
so savagely calling for this game. Like, anything that Rockstar has posted in the past, especially the past 5 years, but really like the comments are just, where's GTA 6? Where's GTA 6? Where the fuck is 6?
It's,
you know,
it's a bloodthirst.
Relentless. I don't even want to talk about it, actually. Some fucking, this group on Instagram, kid complained about something, and I was like, fuck you. And then they like tried to dox me.
Oh, right.
It was like a GTA group, and we're
gonna
like,
come to your house and
we want GTA 6.
swat you.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
People have been been craving
31.
this.
Let's talk about the announcement that they had, and it's obviously going to be some sort of trailer or some sort of announcement. What do you guys think we're going to see next week? Ben, you want to start us off?
What do I think we're going to see, or what do I want us to see?
Do both.
Man,
Very little.
knowing Rockstar, we're not getting a lot, and it's not going to, I don't think it's going to,
Satiate.
there you go. The crowd, the bloodthirst that Chris is talking about, I don't care what they come out with, actually. It's not going to insatiate that. There's, to me, two things that I would love to see, but I almost don't expect. One, we better get the release window, the year. It either better say 2024 or 2025. It better.
Fall 2024.
It better. And I would like to see the
Optimistic.
fall, spring. When are we actually getting this? It's been in the works for 10 years, allegedly. They've really been doing it full time since the release of Red Dead 2. That's pretty much when the team moved on. Mm-hmm. This is the second game that is not being launched by Rockstar, like North. It used to be Rockstar North worked on Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
Now it's the whole company. It's like 5 different studios all doing this.
I'm sorry. I thought you were done. I was reading the comment here, so I was going to jump in with some of these comments. But
the other thing I would love to see, and I don't know or think, but it makes me question. They didn't say the teaser trailer. They said the trailer. So what do you usually expect with the trailer? The environment. To see
where it's going to take
what
place.
this will look like.
the vibe.
What year is it in?
What year?
Yeah.
When are we? Where are we?
Yep.
And how impressive
What,
is...
when, where, why, how?
Right. Are they going to deliver that with classic Rockstar? It used to be a picture
Yep.
and a fucking date.
And you still would like...
And that would mean the release date for the trailer.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
they would just release a very environmental. They would show the creek and the animals.
Maybe
and
that's what this announcement was, though. Maybe they just did this instead.
They almost have a gun to their head. The fucking fans and Take-Two is like, you need to
Their
get this
stock's
game
up.
out
I
now.
got Take-Two stock.
They're never one to launch things when they're not ready. But this is a different approach. The fact that it leaked into like Bloomberg News means somebody at Rockstar kind of gave the heads up to get everybody frothing at the mouth.
The juice is flowing, brother.
Dude.
Can we just take a half step back too? This all started really the confirmation of it all when that kid hacked Rockstar or Take-Two and put out
like 17-year-old kid hacked the
and then
old
I
server.
think he was recently found like unfit to stand trial or something like too. I'm pretty sure I
mean,
read
listen,
that
if you're
in
hacking
the
into
cell.
servers, you're probably pretty like,
They're
on
gonna
the
pretty
hire
spectrum
complex
of things.
person. Yeah.
No,
yeah.
you're just on the spectrum of things because your coding skills are so strong that hacking is not. You're not like the most like sociable person. You're probably a little bit, off.
Now-
so
They released that. People saw the gameplay. It looked like you could be a guy or a girl.
That's not gameplay.
It was like alpha, it was early gameplay, but it did reveal maybe some things. You're a guy or a girl. They had a girl. I remember it was like showing some girl walking.
We basically long had the rumor that this is going to be the Bonnie and Clyde.
I don't get the Bonnie and Clyde because Bonnie and Clyde were lovers, weren't they? I think what at least what's been speculated so far is that it's a brother and a sister. That
We're
the
talking-
sister's a cop.
We're
and the-
talking so out of the realm of reality. What are we
Possible.
actually going to get with the trailer? We finally, 10 years later, have a trailer teaser announcement for the 25th
Is there a
anniversary
date
of Rockstar.
for that?
Not yet. It's a loose. There's a lot of
Well,
speculation. It's
when's
gonna
the
be
announcement?
the first Friday? Well,
There's no date
there
for
is
that?
no date.
Oh,
It's
okay.
December.
The trailer.
They said, the founder of Rockstar,
Sam
one of the
Houser.
brothers, Sam Houser, Dan left, announced that it's the 25th anniversary of Rockstar. They're gonna release a trailer.
Okay.
So do you
That's
think that it's
the-
going to show any gameplay, or is it going to be strictly like
Nope.
cutscene?
Nope, not
it won't be
cutscene.
much.
Screenshot.
It will be environmental at most.
When they announced
my-
Vice City, I remember the website and everything. It was like a beach, and they played like a very chill, relaxed song,
Yeah.
and then like it just kind of zoomed out, and it was just like Grand Theft Auto 5,
They
like, or whatever, Grand Theft Auto Vice City. That was it.
right.
I do want to. We have a lot of good stuff in the comments here. The Real Rocket
on the
Boy.
horn. I want to know what everybody thinks.
Real Rocket Boy said, probably will be a 1-minute teaser trailer, no gameplay, just a lot of cinematic voiceovers and beautiful sceneries of places.
100%.
Um,
At most. That's at most
Yeah.
what we're getting.
yeah, I think very little.
Even if they just showed us the logo.
Hell said shiny cars, POIs, maybe some NPCs.
All right, Hells. Yeah, fucking go back to Call of Duty. I don't want to hear this.
I think that makes sense. So a couple of shiny cars, POIs. I think he means like points of interest. If it's in Miami, I don't know what landmarks are in Miami.
I would get into that's
South
one of the
Beach?
questions. That's one of the questions I
South-
have for the group. I'll get to.
Strip.
I have a question for the group I want to get to.
The Miami Strip. We got a lot of fucking comments about Grand Theft Auto. I'm like just trying.
I mean,
to,
we're gonna have a lot more because we probably have about 12 more things we want to talk
Yeah,
about.
we got a packed
All right,
show
so-
for you guys. Why don't we just dedicate like a whole section of this to the comments because we don't want to, let's do a whole segment where we just go through the comments, and if you guys have any questions that you want to ask anybody on the show, we can kind of wrap up the show with that. We've been thinking about doing that for a while. That way, we're not going back and forth, cutting people off.
I have a question for the group.
Yeah.
Unless you want to go
No,
with the
no.
trailer.
No. What I wanted to hear is just Chris, real quick. Expectations of what we're going to see, and just like Vin did, what do you want to see?
I'm gonna see very little. I'm not even gonna say I want anything because I don't think I would get anything that I want.
What do you want? I want to hear what the fuck
Well,
you want.
if they give, at least give me the character, which they sometimes
You
do.
want the main character?
I want to know who the characters are, even if they release in text. Like this is, I remember for GTA 5, they're like introducing Michael. Michael is a former
Nico, cousin.
whatever, and then Trevor is this guy, and like at least kind of tell you who the characters are,
Yeah.
so you can start like kind of just like getting excited about the story of it all. And I mean, I remember when they were talking about GTA 5, they were like, they were showing like the housing market wasn't good at that point, and it was reflective of the times.
Again.
It was reflective of the times, and GTA has always been very like almost like a satire of real life.
Yes.
Almost.
It is.
that's
It
It's
is.
the
It
fucking
is.
direct. That's the whole point.
Yeah,
and I
mean,
think that's
they're-
people's concern too. But
Their commercials, like Pisswasser being Budweiser, like just all the little things
Politics.
that they do, the politics,
cats
everything.
in a box to your door.
Yeah.
Meow.
Yeah, I want to see something like that. I want to see something that really tells us, informs us a bit.
We got a great big convoy.
I do want to say too, I fall 2024 is my guess. I I remember when they announced GTA 5, it was like within a year. I don't think that they're going to keep us in the dark for 10 years and then announce the game and then make us wait even more because like people will fucking riot. So I'd say fall 2024, but then it's going to get delayed until like January.
Spring 2025.
Yeah.
Vin, what did you have for us before we go to the next topic?
So my question for the group, to go around the horn, what would be your preference, current day or retro? Where would we be in the game? When?
For me, I would want 70s. I would want that whole drug-induced, far out man, the Big Lebowski-esque type characters in the game. Just thinking about some of the music that they'd be able to play. To me, like when you put a time frame on the Grand Theft Auto series, I think that's when I enjoy it the most. Like, Grand Theft Auto 3 was like 90s. Grand Theft Auto Vice City was, the 80s. So I think they haven't tapped into the 70s yet. They tapped into like current times and things of that nature, but I don't really want to have to answer the phone anymore and text messages, and I don't want to have to go on social media.
Same page.
I don't want to deal with the
tech.
I don't want to deal with the world that we're in now. We're in this world, and I hate this world. The world
I want
sucks.
payphones and sat phones and very limited tech.
I kind of want like graffiti, and I want like discos
Warriors
and things like
come
that.
out and play.
Yeah, they can do the Warriors because that was a Rockstar game back in the day. So yeah, that's my answer.
That would, now, if it's Miami, that would mean 70s Miami.
Well, I'm not saying Miami. I'm just saying. I'm saying they can scope it to where you said, "Hey, here's the Rockstar map. Here's the Rockstar, country," and you can just go anywhere. Because if you go somewhere in the 70s in New York, it's going to look different than it would in California or in Miami. So I want all of it.
Oh my God! Phil just said something pretty cool that I didn't even think about. He said maybe the game is generational, like you can flip between different decades, maybe go like two different timelines.
All right.
Too much.
No. So my thoughts.
That would be incredible.
Let me answer. Let's do this in order. Rob,
Yep.
What is your retro or current day timeline?
I would love retro, but I would love to see like a 20s almost, like the gangsters.
What the fuck?
That kind of stuff.
Miami in 1920 was
Not Miami. I'm talking like I would like to see like New York,
horse and buggy.
Let him answer. I'm curious.
With the buggies and the gangsters and the Tommy guns and that kind of shit, because they did
Mafia.
L.A. Noir,
Red Dead.
and L.A. Noir was fantastic, and that's like not far off. I think that was more the 40s.
It's his choice.
That would be a better Red Dead
Maybe
Redemption,
40s.
in my opinion. Make Red Dead Redemption in that era.
I agree.
Prohibition era.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay.
Red Dead in that
That could
era,
work.
perfect.
Because it's kind of after the fall, but it's still got you still. I'm sorry, I don't want to jump
I'm
into
a sucker for those for that aesthetic,
Yeah.
the Tommy guns and the buggies and the the fedoras and the coats.
I like it. It's totally off the path of what I would expect.
It's completely off the path.
I like
but it will be fun to like get like funny radio announcements in the old timey way, like almost like a marriage between Mafia and but
Mafia,
made by
but
Rockstar.
better with the
Made by Rockstar.
the transatlantic accent. That welcome.
They
out
would
New York
really
City."
nail because
Gotta make a move, see?
that would create another like level of difficulty for the game, because you're not getting these fast cars unless you go to like
God, missions in that game will take 8 years.
it would be great.
Yeah,
On
you
a
gotta-
horse and buggy.
Hey, the Godfather game was great.
Chris, what do you want? You want current or do you want retro?
So it's funny because when you ask that, what I really would love, and this is going to be a little bit of a roller coaster, but Rob helped segue this, so it's good. I would really love to see Grand Theft Auto in the medieval era, and which then I would
even
say
older.
it wouldn't have to be Grand Theft Auto. I would actually rather see Red Dead Redemption.
Grand Theft Jesus.
Could you imagine Red Dead? Joe's got a look on his face. What is? Why? Hold on. Medieval. I love medieval shit. We're talking Game of Thrones.
GTA 6. You're talking medieval.
I know. You
Florida.
said, "What do you want?" And he said the 1920s. So what the fuck? I'm
Grand
just
Theft
saying.
Horse? What the fuck? There are no.
Well, it would have to be a Red Dead Redemption. I would love if they made a Red Dead Redemption.
That's not the question.
Well, but it's fucking all about the timeline. I want GTA
6.
medieval, but it wouldn't really be GTA. So
You don't
it'd be
even
Red
want to
Dead.
play Elden Ring, though. That's medieval.
Elden Ring's not medieval. Don't do that to me. You're gaslighting me. You're gaslighting me. Motherfucker, you. Grand Theft, biblical Grand Theft Auto.
But wait. What the
biblical era
That's
GTA.
not the answer. I was even trying to.
Grand Theft Genesis.
Ideally, if it wasn't tied to Miami, I would love if they did, and this is your idea, not mine, Vin. I'll give you the credit. New York City in the 70s. I think that would be fucking dope. Because that era was so bad and like
unique.
As long as I can go to Studio 54 and get high, it'd be cool.
I would love that.
That would be a phenomenal era, and maybe they'll do that for the next GTA when
that was a part in the world where it was like you had people who were disco and people who hated disco.
Yes,
I think there was a true separation between like, parts of town and things like that. You had CBGBs, which is like the introduction to like rock and metal, and then you had the disco, fever stuff.
Which was the Bee Gees.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's my choice. What about you, Vin?
For this game, for GTA 6,
Yes,
I would
not
want,
Red Dead, but yes.
Yeah, I would want retro 70s.
by technicality, you cocksucker. I'm gonna come back. I want to. No, you motherfuckers. The moment I start talking, you go. But then you guys talk, and I gotta be fucking quiet. You talked about fucking Zelda. You talked about fucking Marvel, and you talked about fucking what was the other thing I don't give a shit about? Those motherfuckers, you. It would
everything
be
on the planet, Chris.
It would be Grand Theft Auto.
That's not
Everything
Grand
with
Theft Auto.
GTA.
But if I said
fucking
Grand
Raleigh's
Theft Auto in fucking 1900, that would be Red Dead Redemption.
Listen, how many
That's all I'm
times have we
saying.
tried to talk about Grand Theft Auto on the show?
How-
and
yeah.
we forced it because it was like me and you would play and they didn't give a fuck.
He's turning pink.
Oh, he's pissed.
I ain't
dude.
afraid
Man,
no
this is-
ghosts.
no,
Fucking
it's
every
just time.
goddamn time.
What do you think of my shirt? You like it?
Well, no, it's just not it's not the answer I expected. I said Red Dead. All right, so
Yeah.
all right.
Uninterrupted answer. Here we go.
Help.
You want to ask me the question again for the AI clipping?
Sure. What do you want in terms of a setting for Grand Theft Auto 6? Timeline and a setting.
I think a retro 70s Grand Theft Auto 6 would be perfect.
Yes.
Pre-Vice City, big cocaine come up. I would love the integration of a South American or Central American like area. So you could either start there, because a lot of what happens in Grand Theft Auto is the come up story. You're the poor, you're the poorest of the poor, and you grind and do what's necessary to get to the top.
Tony Montana.
100%. That's just where it fits. It's an American tale. Everybody comes to America for that exact fucking reason. It's never ended. It's still continuing to this day. And it was best defined media-wise, content-wise, in the 70s.
American Tail. Feifel does coke.
You could do so much with that. You could simplify so much of the game to make it impactful and fun for the player. Because when you have cell phones, and to Joe's point, when you have technology, it's cheap.
As long as I can walk around looking like Hunter S. Thompson, I'll be happy.
Couldn't you argue,
that's my
though,
dream.
Couldn't you argue though that they already did that with Vice City? I mean,
No,
it was the 80s
because
and
it was-
Coke.
it was-
and-
No,
when
that
the
was
game came out,
Miami Vice-esque.
At very end, it was the end of the Coke era. It was the end of the 80s, height of everything. It was the failing. I want to see before and how it happened.
Yeah.
I want to see
Woodstock.
I want to see Miami on the come up, not when it's in its fucking heyday.
Right.
I would want to work to help build that. See a progressive.
42nd Street. 42nd Street was
The clubs, they're talking about an environment that kind of, there's been leaks and stuff. I'm not even going to fucking reference that, but it just would make so much sense. And then to satisfy everybody, I think the best thing to do would do GTA Online with the current day, with the big build out. What the fuck is interesting about fucking Miami right now? I don't see anything that would be compelling
keep going
about
back to Miami?
2023. I know Florida, man. There's a lot of funny shit and a lot of spoofing.
Yeah, they got a
GTA
lot of-
is about spoofing, and right now we're living a spoof. It almost seems like life is ridiculous, and I don't know how you spoof a spoof. It's too dumb. We live in the
No, I do. It would be Rockstar Games. Would be the perfect.
if
the more I think
they're
about it,
willing to go to the edge, and the edge right now is untouchable because you get fucking canceled or whatever the fuck happens. You can't make fun of certain things the way Rockstar usually has in a way that they make fun of both sides, whatever you want to call it. They're equal opportunists. Make funner, like they will make fun of you, no matter what
That's
you're
how they get away with it. They
so
make fun of both
it's
sides.
balanced. It's great. Everything in those games, whether it's 3, even before then, in the original top down, it's always making fun of what's happening in the times. But we live in the most ridiculous of times.
And Florida is one of the most ridiculous places.
It is one of the most ridiculous
when you
places.
think about it.
You could make fun of it, and I think like the Florida man idea makes sense.
Not
but
just that,
you
the
also have to be
environment.
willing to make fun of all of the hot topics that I don't know how you make fun of them. There are things happening today, and I know that's why to me with the 70s theme, it's just almost easier because you can tell the prelude to why we even got here. The political stuff, all of the things that were happening then made what happened today happen. You could make fun of whether it's Richard Nixon or whatever was happening in the 70s. There's a lot to kind of hone in on. And I think you can satisfy the crowd with a current day GTA Online Miami element, and you just enhance a few things. You make some of the things look different, and it would make the game seem even cooler because then GTA Online is its own separate entity altogether. You're not playing on the same map. You're not traveling to the same place and just reliving it through your GTA Online character. You're able to travel to the new Miami, the new Florida that they design. And with GTA 6 honing in on storytelling, narrative, I think the 70s are just more compelling. I think the simplified technology is just a better way to play a game. A cell phone is such a cheat. It's such a cheap, easy way to do things. It's such a cheap, easy way to communicate. It takes away from, even with GTA 4, when your cousin is calling you on the cell phone.
Want to go bowling, cousin? No, I don't.
Annoying.
I don't.
Immediately made the game kind of annoying. And
I
that
think the
never
GTA
happened.
5 phone is very nuanced and a great companion for
Smartphone.
the game. It's a smartphone. It's not overcomplicated.
I'm not dissing the fucking thing. I'm just saying if you're coming out with a new game, we've played GTA 5 for 10 years.
I don't know how
We're
they can
done
do
with that.
I can't imagine playing an
done.
online. Well, you said online.
I'm not saying
You
online.
said
You
would
guys
still
are
be
focused on
modern.
GTA Online. I don't care.
more
GTA
my-
6 is a fucking narrative-driven, story-driven game where you're a criminal doing criminal activities to come up.
Yeah.
If they change from that, the game's fucking trash.
Yeah.
They won't change from that. They have stayed true, and I have no reason to doubt them that they will come out with a game that has the comedic edge, that has gonna point and poke and make fun of you, everybody who deserves to be made fun of, which is everybody, and you got to have a sense of humor about it. It's a game for people who have a sense of humor. So I want to see a retro game, and then if they do a modern Miami in GTA Online, I think that's the most compelling way to do this.
One way or another, I have high hopes it's going to look fantastic.
Look.
So we got two 70s, we got medieval times, and we got the 1920s. Next thing to kind of transition into, we have a Who Stays, Who Goes. We're going to finish the show with that. I did want to kind of, oh, yeah.
Whoa, finish. We're not done.
Oh, we're not done yet. I said finish the show.
You motherfuckers. I
Listen,
am ready to fucking
I got
boil
like,
right
I got
now.
like 10 times. Hey, look at this.
I'm
You see
ready.
this?
Oh, I
this
have
is
my
all
notes.
GTA right here. I have.
We got
Whew.
Every time we try to talk GTA, this shit gets fucking sweep. We talk more about Ghostbusters than we talked about Grand Theft Auto tonight. What the fuck? I've been waiting for this moment.
All right, so wait.
I've been waiting.
So I have a question.
For
I have a
this
question
It's a
for
great
the team.
point. I wanted to mention that.
that.
I want to talk about the comments because they're relevant now as we're talking.
Go to the
So,
comment section.
well, fucking now I gotta play catch up
I
because we're
don't need
fucking.
you getting an aneurysm.
I am
on
gonna have
show.
a fucking goddamn somebody. Somebody asked a great
Help me,
question.
yeah.
They said, "Can you?" From the dungeon said, "Can you go to a wrestling event in GTA?" No, but you can go to a Phil Collins concert in Grand Theft Auto Vice City Stories, and he plays In the Air tonight, and it's fucking great. Look it up. Look it up. Phil Collins concert, Grand Theft Auto. In the air tonight.
Hold
on. The music from the 7. Come on now. Come on.
Stephen Bias said something
Fuck outta
great
here.
to all of our point, because really the three of us said the 70s. He said, I want it to be a 1970s Guy Ritchie movie come to life.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yes.
Said it
Yeah, that's a
perfectly.
good one, and they've done that with actually the top-down GTA England one. I don't know if you guys played that, but that was the top-down old school. Yeah, it was definitely on that. They were looking to do that, but back then.
Then Driver came out, and what was the other game that came out that was like based out?
Not
of
even
the UK?
Driver.
Driver
was
was
this is before GTA top down. I have a whole fucking story. I want to ask you guys this question when you first heard about it, but we'll go through the comments first.
Our first GTA.
I need to ask that. I want to know where everybody remembers it. So
The Real Rocket Boys to talk about medieval games. Rockstar Games is actually working on one, and I feel like I remember hearing that.
fucking Chivalry.
All I'm
2.
saying is, if Rockstar Games made a medieval era game, that would be fucking awesome.
Game
and I
of
don't know how you
Thrones.
could say
Made
it
by
wouldn't.
Rockstar.
Could you imagine like a Game of Thrones, like with castles and fucking
Dragons.
horses and fucking carriages and
Dragons.
chariots and whatever the fuck? Maybe dragons. That would be, if they made a fantasy game. That'd be even. I couldn't even fathom that. They've always been better with games that are rooted in reality.
The game is named after a crime for stealing cars.
Sure, okay. I didn't. Again, he said. Speaking of games, Rockstar Games is working on one. It's a fucking comment. It's relevant. I would love to see them make
Grand
a game
Theft
in that
Castle.
era.
We got to be
Grand
over
Theft-
100. We're over
Grand
100.
Theft-
right?
I still-
It'd be Red Dead Redemption.
Yes.
Blood's red.
Grand Theft, I steal your broomstick.
And then Phil Dunphy said, "Does GTA 6 launch single player only without an online component?"
Initially, I would say
Yes.
That's what they did for GTA 5.
Yes. Because if any attention was diverted away from developing the actual game that we want, everyone's going to be upset. We have GTA Online. I can go online right now and play it if I want to. It's already there. If I want GTA Online, it already exists.
I say
There's
it's a
no
1 month
more
delay.
you're going to add to it right now. You're talking about the frothing at the mouth? Why? Why would they even divert any energy, any people away when they already have a product that drives billions in revenue?
I think they already have online fleshed out. I think they're just gonna wait. They did for 5. They waited like a month. It might not even been a full month. And I remember I couldn't wait. I was foaming at the mouth for GTA Online.
Yes,
I was done with the
day one.
story. I beat the story in
Brutally.
4 days or something like that,
we-
and waited for online after that.
Can I tell this real quick? When Grand Theft Auto 5 came out, Xbox 360, we were working part-time. We were much younger. We basically squeezed a full-time work schedule into a weekend because we're all working in restaurant
So like
catering.
2004, 2005.
No, I was still in high school then, man. Come on now, I'm not that. This is 2013. We're talking 2013, 10 years ago. So I was in the throes of just working through gigs. This is when I started working with Chris and all the shit. Anyway, GTA comes out. There's no online component yet. It was announced. We are playing this game every waking moment, waking up early to play it, to the point where when we would want to hang out, we'd be like, let's get together, smoke a little, let's chill.
Yep.
We get together, probably meet up at Chris's house. We'd be together for, I don't know, an hour.
Talking
The
about
moment we got together, it was the game. We're talking the game. We're talking about moments that were created in the game, and this is the thing about GTA that's incredible. You're talking about moments that can only happen to you. Cinematic quality moments
Sandbox.
that happen because you have that impact on the game.
Yep.
It's a true sandbox, and you're describing it to your friends. We were getting so excited. We're trying to just hang out and like kill some time. It wouldn't last an hour. We'd have to go home. It would be like, all right, yeah, I'll see you later. Got to go play this. Got to literally jump back online, jump in the party, and just play and talk about it.
Grand Theft Auto is one of the few games when 3 came out, like everyone wanted to come over to my house to play it.
Wow.
And I would enjoy
that
just
photo
giving them
somewhere.
the controller and having them watch them play a mission and play it completely differently how I played it. So it's one of the few games that I actually enjoyed watching someone else play. I think that was the first time, this is way before Twitch or anything like that, where I actually, oh wow, it's cool. I could just sit here and it's like you're in your, you're doing your own thing and you do things differently, and for sure.
So I wanted to ask, what is everybody's first memory of Grand Theft Auto? When did it come onto your radar? How did you start playing
I
it?
played it on the PlayStation 1 when it was top down and it had all that mafia theme. So I played them all. And then leading up into Grand Theft Auto 6, you were expecting what you saw previously, and it was just just blew you away in 2001, I believe it came out, and it was just, you could not put it down. I don't know the amount of hours. This is also during the height of The Sopranos, so everything was mafia based. Everything was like, I just
Well, that was GTA 3.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what he's saying.
Yeah,
I'm
that
saying
was
the
on
original. I'm talking
That
about
PS2.
Yes.
We talked. Yeah.
You said, I thought you said
Well,
PS1.
PS1 was the original.
He asked
Grand
me
Theft Auto.
when was
your first
I
memory.
played the original, and then GTA 3 completely revolutionized everything. Not just Grand Theft Auto, but like if you think about all the, the clones and the copies of that game, Saints Row, whatever. None of them have done it the way Grand Theft Auto was done by Rockstar. So GTA 3, I just spent countless hours just, doing
changed
anything.
What games could be.
Yes,
That was the difference between the Super Mario era and in high scores and what a story could be in a game.
It brought a Pulp Fiction-esque matureness to playing video games. We're probably, 17, 18 years old, and I was at least. You guys maybe, 14, 15, whatever.
I might have been
10
in
years old,
elementary
whatever.
school when
Yeah,
that shit
it
came
was
out.
a baby.
It was a
It's a fucking baby. Anyway, so
Rob.
till this day, Grand Theft Auto 3 is just it holds a special place. It's in my top 10 list of all time video games.
3 is.
3 is.
Rob, I'm curious because I know you weren't the biggest Grand Theft Auto. When we were obsessed with online, it wasn't something you were diving into. But what do you remember? When did you first play? How did it come on your radar?
So the first Grand Theft Auto I ever played was Vice City. I remember renting it from Blockbuster at the time, which is going back.
And
the reason I found out about it was because of school.
Away. Sorry, Rob.
People were talking about it in school, and I was like, I got to try this game out because it was like kind of like older than I should have been playing it.
Oh,
definitely for me, and I thought
say
it was
hello
cool.
to my little
But
friend.
then it was a few years later. My cousin had a binder full of PC games, and one of them was Grand Theft Auto 3.
Oh.
And I remember playing that on my Windows XP at the time. And
that's not even like that old to me. Like, not that it's not that old, but
no,
it's not.
It's not. But that was like my first like PC, like because we had the Windows 95. That was my brother's when he went to Hofstra. But then the Windows XP was like my baby.
Ancient.
And
baby.
that was the first Grand Theft Auto game that I finished was GTA 3. Love that one with Fernando's New Beginning, Cinco, Nueve Dos.
Emotion.
And
Let me talk to you.
92.3.
I can't remember exactly. When I speak to your wife, me and her will have a good time. And you're like,
what's
this
this
guy talking about?
Changing the diapers and the
I
baby.
will fix
Who
your
knows what else? Love that shit.
The ads were better than the songs that they had.
Oh,
in the game.
fantastic! And that was actually the first one that I played from
Overnight.
beginning to end. I love the cheats that, like, after I beat it, like putting in cheat codes and like tanks would come out of the sky. And
Tank.
you can make yourself like invincible, but then also level 5 wanted constantly, and just keep
Mayhem.
fighting like
Mayhem.
multitudes of police and army people. I love that game. And then GTA. I didn't play San Andreas when that came out, but then GTA 5 came out. They announced that. I actually pre-ordered that one. Funny enough, I'm not known as the GTA guy.
What about 4?
But GTA 4 I did play. I did play GTA 4, but GTA 5 I was very excited about. Because I had already established that I was a fan of that series after playing GTA 4. So I pre-ordered that, and then I started playing that when that first came out. Loved Trevor, loved that whole story. I thought it was a fantastic game from beginning to end. The crazy shit with chasing the boat on the highway and all that kind of stuff. You
Big
know,
set
going
pieces.
on the train. There was just a lot of like holy shit moments. I remember playing that game. And that's like the freshest one in my mind because it's the latest GTA that I've played.
And visually, GTA 5
It was outstanding, and to this day, I mean, online looks fantastic with all the cars and all that stuff. It's not like
They've done-
sometimes when it's raining, it's like holy shit! Like I really feel like I'm like in that world. My dad would like stop sometimes and be like, "That's a video game, right?" Like,
Right.
like, wow.
And that's funny because to me, that's the difference between, let's say, like fidelity and graphic consistency. there's a consistency in the game across the entire game where everything looks like it fits. Whether it's a brick in the wall or a pedestrian walking down the street or the rain. And that's across 360, PS4, and PS5. That's just something that they're insanely great at. Red Dead 2 is by far environmentally and visually one of the most like incredible games. Not because it looks real. It's weird because you can't say, oh, that looks real. But it looks believable.
Looks lived in.
Right. Oh, well, yes. And that's the thing that always made GTA fun because there was something about what will happen if I do this? And there would be a reaction. It wouldn't be scripted.
You push somebody,
you don't
push
know
back, you know.
Right. From the littlest to the biggest.
Let's continue on with you while you're talking. First memories of Grand Theft Auto series.
I want to hear Chris's first.
All right, Chris, you're up.
Jeez, my first.
He was young. How old were you? What?
I was
yeah,
definitely in
like
elementary
9,
school.
bro.
I think I was in 4th or 5th grade, I believe. Well, no, it was after. It was right around 9/11, 2001.
That was 3, yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I might have still been in like 5th grade, and I remember, my brother had it, and we were just playing it on a PlayStation 2. My mom had no idea. Thankfully.
10 years
Oh,
old.
that's true.
No
How
idea.
old's your oldest brother? How old?
That wasn't my oldest brother. It was my brother Pat, who's like a year and a half older than me.
Oh, really?
12 years
Pat's
old.
Maybe even Pat's yeah, definitely. We're all like a year and a half apart.
Okay. Okay.
And
kept
we were
going,
just playing it and fucking like we could not stop
It's like
playing.
Little Joe.
Cocksuckers are throwing me off here, you fucking motherfuckers.
I didn't
We got
say
these heads.
shit.
Rob's, you're doing a good job.
I didn't do nothing.
Fucking, hey guys, don't talk over each other. And then when Chris
Help.
starts talking, let's fucking step on his lines. You cocksuckers!
Yeah,
It's like
you
you're
guys gonna have
trying
another aneurysm.
to gaslight me or something.
I
you
want to hear
cocksuckers.
what you're saying.
Start quoting the big fucking Lebowski, and I'm fucking ending the stream right now. You cocksuckers.
Am I wrong?
I'm just saying. I remember playing with my brother, and it was just like, and I've mentioned it before. When you kill somebody and then the chalk outline was around it, and then their body disappeared, like always would happen in games, but the chalk outline was there and the blood puddle. Just seeing like the blood puddle come out of them was also like, whoa. And then of course there was the hookers, which is just again like what?
Did you know what that was at 10 years old?
It helped me to understand what that was. I think it was a good lens to be
Chris got a
introduced
valuable
to.
lesson out of Grand Theft Auto.
The birds and the bees.
Well, that's the
Grand
thing.
Theft
Well,
Auto.
I mean, I'm an only child, but that's the thing about older brothers and shit. You know what I mean? You're
Exposed to that stuff a lot earlier in some way or another. We already had the static channel. What was it, 78 or 68?
Oh my god!
It came through. It was all staticky, but every now and then you could see blue boobs or something.
That's
Yeah.
it. That was
So
your
wait,
nipple.
Yeah.
What? All right, Chris, I want to ask because I feel like I have a specific memory. Do you have like a core memory of GTA? A whole like a scene or a moment that happened while you were watching your brother play, you were playing.
Talking about in 3, because 3 was
Just-
really my introduction
right.
to it.
That was the most impactful. We could talk about the other ones.
Just,
but-
I mean, the story too. Like we wanted to know. Like I wasn't even watching The Sopranos yet. I was fucking a kid. But the story was like, oh, okay, cool. You're gonna do jobs for the. I already watched Goodfellas at that point, so I love Goodfellas. But it's like you're gonna do a job for Luigi, who's a pimp, and then you're gonna do a job for Mario, who's his friend, who's the boss's son, who's a mechanic, and then there's Maria, and she's a freaking scutch, and then you meet Salvatore Leone, who's he's the boss. Frank Vincent voices fucking Salvatore Leone.
Yeah.
And it was just like, and then you're like in the mob, and you're gonna be a made man, and then they fucking turn on you, and it's like, what the fuck, and you gotta flee the city. And then you go over the bridge to a whole nother part of fucking of New York City, and they have different cars too. They have Ferraris now, and then there was the Yakuza, and it was just such a fleshed out. There was all these different gangs. There was the Yardy Lobos, the Jamaicans, like the Rasta guys. There was the Colombian cartel. There was like the guys who walked. There was pretty much the Bloods and the Crips. There was like guys who walked around in red jackets, guys who walked around in purple jackets. Yep. There was the Diablos, the
Cuban gang,
whatever, yeah. And
there
was just all these different, it was very much almost like a race wars type of thing sometimes, especially in Vice City. Vice City had Cubans versus Havanese people.
I'm Cuban, B.
So I mean, it was just it was so different. It was so cool. You could drive. Still no game that you could drive like that. And then Vice City. I remember when Vice City was like teased, and again it was like that chill, like Cool in the Gang kind of song of the summertime or whatever. And it was just the beach, and you saw some people walking, and like, oh my god, I could not wait.
Yeah.
You know,
Vice City was the first game that I can reflect on that, say that it was overhyped in the sense that everyone was frothing at the fucking mouth to
But it
get this
delivered.
game.
oh yeah.
But yes, if you once you played it for like,
Delivered.
let's say you played it the first night, it was
Yeah.
almost like, oh, like okay, it was like 3, but in a different set and setting. But once you played it for a couple of days, within that week, it was just so fucking mind blowing how much better it was. I remember
Best
Vice-
soundtrack in a game.
Oh,
tonight,
yeah.
but still to this day.
Because-
Vice City.
I asked that.
For the record,
that was
GTA
another
3
question.
did not have a good soundtrack.
Not
It
really.
had a couple of funny songs from Scarface, like "Rush, Rush to the Yayo," and they had "Push It to the Limit," I think too.
Push it to the limit.
I think that one did, and Vice City didn't, even though I associate
Yeah.
Push It to
So,
Vice City.
but Vice City's soundtrack was.
I was going to say GTA 3 had the better advertisements than songs. I don't know if I said that before,
Yeah,
but I think all the ads were better.
funny.
The
than
talk
most of the
radio,
music.
yeah, well, Laszlo and Fernando and all that stuff. That's what made GTA.
Emotion.
Emotion. So, I guess I'll answer this now. I have 2 really specific memories when it comes to GTA. One was the first time it was recommended to me. It was 6th grade homeroom, and the kid that sat in front of me happened to just turn around, and for whatever reason, we're talking about PlayStation, and I had just gotten mine. I get Resident Evil 2. It was like a big deal. He goes, "You ever heard of Grand Theft Auto?" And I was like, "No, what?" He goes, "You got to rent Grand Theft Auto." All right. Fucking rented from the store. It's the top down. And he told me, like, it's top down. The graphics aren't great, but you can do so much. You get a rocket launcher, just blow up cars. And I remember renting the game, looking at it. It's like a top down helicopter shot of a taxi or something on the run. Starting the game, jumping in the car, Micro Machines. That was the first thing that
Yes.
came to mind. It was Micro Machines, the video game. And I ran somebody over, and there was a blood splat. So to your point, Chris, the blood splat, and I was like,
And that's what they
Holy
fought so hard against.
shit.
They wanted blood out of video games.
and then from there was everything, grabbing the first gun, whether even the pistol, and just pop, pop, pop. I was like, what? And you could just do it anywhere. And then, of course, there was the missions. It was a pain in the ass to drive. That was like the thing that stands out the most, the controls. Because when you're going right on the screen
Sliding.
and you make a left, sometimes your brain kind of tells you, like, move right. Or you're heading down.
Yeah,
And
yep.
you're like, oh, I want to go
Yeah,
left. And you
yep.
make... Anyway,
Yep.
that's what I remember.
That's a good analogy.
But then it was really GTA 3. I remember seeing the fucking articles in
The
Game
op-
Informer.
there was
Game
like that
Informer?
opera song commercial.
there was a yes. Wow. Good fucking memory. That's a wow. I can't believe you remember that.
Grand
This
Theft
is
Auto 3.
pre-internet.
Buy
like
now.
not pre-internet, but
Rated M for
before you're
mature.
chilling on the internet. That was on TV. I remember I wasn't allowed to get the game.
And they even had. I remember
I-
that. Yeah.
I was not allowed to fucking get this. My mom was not going to let me play this game. That was just what it was. But I played football, had a bunch of friends, and sure as shit, of course somebody had it. So the first day the game came out, I didn't see it. And we're standing on the sideline of football practice, and my buddy Brian is explaining this game to me in detail. You could pull up, pick up the hook, all of it. He's just breaking down what you can do. And I'm like, I can't even believe what he's saying. He's like, it's all 3D. You could just run around and just beat up someone on the sidewalk, grab a bat, bang. I was like, no way. That's impossible. And
Yes.
I'm talking about a group of people huddled around him. So to Joe's point, what he said before, when people were coming over his house, watching him play, he was probably the kid that was allowed to have the game at the age that he
Well,
was.
it was 18. Yeah, it wasn't a kid.
Oh,
Here,
really?
hold on.
Oh,
Wait,
so,
while you
okay.
mentioned that, Vin, I just you ask about memories. Oh, I hope I can get it in here. I'm trying to get the picture in here.
Yeah, went to my friend's house after practice, watched this game. That was absolutely it. Everything changed from that moment. It was just like such a impactful experience that I was watching. I wasn't even playing at first. I was watching my buddy play, and I didn't care. I didn't need to play to enjoy what I was seeing. And then when he gave me the controller, I was like, I don't even know what to do. And then you just start trying to navigate it, trying to figure it out.
It's one of the first games that actually made you feel like you were in a real world. Because you could just hijack any car, and you could do it over and over and over again. You can go into multiple buildings. You can drive anywhere. You can go buy stuff. Like it was just something that was like it brought like your imagination and like what you did with toys as a kid, like, and then it let you control it.
100%. And you said the word that said lived in. When you turn the game off and you turn it back on, it didn't feel like it reset. It felt like you were getting back into something that was always alive, that's always been there.
I got you clips.
That's
there,
their
bro. I'm sorry.
best. That's always
What
been
are we
Rockstar's
looking at
best.
here, Chris?
Trying to get it up, but it's fucking freezing up as I do this.
Is that Joe?
No, that's me, dude. That's
you in
fucking,
denim?
it just sucks. No, it's not
Denim.
I had a baby
Denim.
blue velour suit. Hold on.
Oh my God!
It's a baby
I
blue.
can imagine
just wish
seeing Chris at school. Joe would just beat
Oh,
him
I'd
up.
walk around.
Just be beating him up.
I'd fucking.
I didn't do that. I wasn't a bully.
Good
No.
guy. Hold on, let me.
Thanks
there
for
we go.
judging me,
Fit
though,
the
bud.
screen here.
Look.
I
That's,
just bully him now because he
that's-
deserves it.
Listen. This is GTA Vice City came out. You could actually, if I zoomed in enough, you would see it on the TV over there. It's Vice City on the TV.
Is this live, pal?
This is on the show here. Everybody you could see. This is me. That's my brother. One of my other brothers is here, and that's actually Pat right there. That's me flipping everyone off, and Jeremy's right there. And everybody in the fucking neighborhood was packed into my brother's room, and we were playing. And look at the wrestling figures on the wall there, Joe. You like that?
Got the
You zoom in
American
there?
flag right
Look
there,
at that.
baby.
It's the most. It's Americana
American
right
flag
there.
right
Baby
there,
blue
baby.
velour suit, American flag. We are open.
WWF wrestlers.
You know, but like that was Vice City right
Hell
there. I
yeah.
love this picture because
Hell
it's
yeah.
just like of that time.
It is Americana. That's very Americana.
I don't know how to delete.
So
the
I will
image
wrap
now,
up my little expose here.
Expose.
Can't get the photo off. I'm sorry, dude.
I remember playing GTA 3. This is when I first started smoking weed.
What the fuck is this thing?
Kind of the two things oddly go together. I couldn't own the game, but my buddy's house always stayed at, football, all this shit. We used to fucking go sneak out, smoke weed in a little bowl. Fucking in the woods, the old school, fucking totally thinking we're getting away with it. Sneak back into the house, turn on the fucking PS2. And I remember in the dark playing this game on a 27-inch little fucking TV, and I couldn't have been more enveloped by the game. I take a car, ramp it off into, the above subway tracks.
Yeah, the jumps.
The car rolls over, and back in those games, you couldn't spin the car back over. It was stuck, turtled.
Starts
You
going.
gotta get
fire.
out. Otherwise
Had to
it's
get
gonna
out.
blow
You're
up.
Gotta
fucking
run. You had to run.
So,
Yeah.
I hop out of I have to get out. Triangle, triangle, triangle. Finally, he gets out of the car, and as he's falling off the tracks, a train comes, hits the car, and it explodes. And it was just the most. I couldn't believe it. I was just so. Holy shit! I don't know how to explain it, and it just has stuck with me for all these years. It's the moment that game has just been probably the best game ever. Ever.
You asked me if I had like a memory. I didn't really have a specific memory. So one thing that does come to me, super quick point, is I remember the first time I played GTA 4, and I took out the bat, and I just fucking cracked somebody in the head with the bat. It was like, whoa. Like the sound, the thunk, the way that their bodies would ragdoll and like fucking drop and then like crack their head again probably. Like it was the most realistic thing to just like fucking crack them.
I'll split your head open again. I'm silly like that.
Silly like that.
Just
I
about
don't
the
give a
time I'm
fuck.
coming out of jail, guess what? I'll do it again.
Crack your fucking head open again.
Yeah,
So
it was
stupid.
it was just such a surreal thing to me that I never forgot. It was a hobo. I think I just
Yep.
cracked a hobo in the head with a bat, and I'll always remember that.
It's the best. It honestly is the best of what a game can be.
Yes.
It's everything Chris doesn't. It's
Everything I love.
It's everything he
Everything I
loves.
want in a
and
game.
Any game that does not
Give
that
me
is
free
pretty
will.
much a failure.
Well, but, it's like Man, you could just do so much. But what do we got on the list here? We can go on and on.
I want to do the who stays, who goes, and then I go.
Do we have anything
scandal
else?
out of here.
No, I think the who stays, who goes. Will
You guys
wrap
can
us
keep
up.
it going if you want to keep it going after that. I don't know.
Just gotta
It'll
go.
be a
He's
perfect.
fucking-
Hulkamania.
So yeah, as always, we always have a who stays, who goes for you whenever we do a special episode. So I'm trying to think of 3 Grand Theft Auto games, and one of them is not there. And it's hard to go with the ones that are on PlayStation 2 because I think all of us are going to pick San Andreas. So I'm going to abstain from choosing that. So the 3 choices are for you: Grand Theft Auto 3, Grand Theft Auto Vice City, or Grand Theft Auto 5. Rob, you want to kick that off?
Put me on the spot. Why don't you?
On the spot.
On the spot. Johnny on the spot.
Johnny on the spot.
I mean, from a personal standpoint, because I didn't finish Vice City because I didn't own it at the time. I only rented it from Blockbuster, and I had the full experience with GTA 3. And GTA 5 is probably the game that I played the most of any of them because I played it with you guys. I'd have to say Vice City, and it's not from a gameplay standpoint or from a story or anything like that. It's just that me personally have the least connection with that game because I finished 3 and I finished 5 and had countless hours of fun with you guys playing that. So I'd have to vote out Vice City.
All right, I'll go next, and we'll finish with Chris since he's the biggest Grand Theft Auto fan.
I got
Make
this guy too.
Make it hard for him. Yeah, Grand Theft Auto 3 was like a reason to get your friends over to play that game. There's no other game other than maybe like GoldenEye and you know back in the day like Mario Kart 64. No other game like Grand Theft Auto, which was not a multiplayer game, would get so many people like you had there in your house to come over to your house and want to just watch.
Nope.
It was almost like watching a new movie every time someone else took the controller, because when they did that, it was completely different.
Right.
Like I would get low on health. I would go grab a car, grab a hooker, refill my health, run her over, take my money back. I was like, holy shit, you can do that? It's insane.
Sure, that was the benefit. Was it gave you a health boost?
Yeah.
You got 125 health.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You have to do that if you want to survive some of the later levels. You got to get a hooker anyway.
Take her into the battle with you.
That'll lead me to my
Yeah,
next
but
question.
Vice City, still to this day, it's the one game that I could always go back to and play. Like when that collection came out last year, or was it a year before? Vice City is the only one I downloaded, and then I can actually play it on a consistent basis anytime I boot up my PS5. GTA 5, it was a great game, probably the best game out of the entire series when you just break it down towards what you could do. For me, it came out in a time period where I was just not interested in any more Grand Theft Auto. So I bought it out of just, it's another Grand Theft Auto. I got to get it. Because at the time, I was playing a lot of Halo 3, a lot of Call of Duty Modern Warfare, and a lot of Gears of War. So my space dedicated to video gaming at that time when it came out in the 360 PS3 era was strictly towards competitive gaming. I was on Team Compete. I was on Game Battles.
Right.
We had clans. This is
Game
you know,
Battles,
remember that?
Shit.
Yeah.
Oh my
I
god.
took you back there for a little bit, huh?
Jesus.
Yeah, so for me, I would have to eliminate Grand Theft Auto 5. Vin, what say you?
Man, I couldn't get rid of any of them really. It's in.
Well, you have to. That's the
I
point.
know. I'm almost trying to hack the system here. I'm like, wait, what did he say? What did you vote? What can I vote
how
that
can we
won't
make
give it
sure they all
enough
live?
votes? Yeah, I'll defend the whole franchise with.
I just
with my
died
life.
in your arms tonight.
Too many
Must
moments
have
and
been
too many core moments in 3. You know, I spent the whole 15 minutes talking about it. And GTA 5, like Rob said, the amount of time and the amount of fun. It's just like I couldn't get rid of the game. Vice City, iconic. It's a reflection of Scarface. It just has so many amazing, funny fucking moments.
Say goodbye to the bad guy, man. Last time you want to see a bad guy like me.
And I will say that the Scarface game that came out was a lot of fun.
Oh, it's
If
so
you've never
good. It's
played
so
that.
good.
Scarface was
The
good.
only one that ever actually came close to GTA. And GTA took a lot of stuff from the Scarface game.
The Godfather game was really good too. at
Godfather
its
game
time.
was a good honor. That's a good subject.
So, yeah, I don't know. You know, we think about these things in a couple of different ways. Oh, if this never existed, then and then and then, that doesn't work for everything. Man,
How about this?
I know what I'll vote for. I'll vote for it. I know what
Your
I'll vote
memories of that game won't exist if you eliminate it.
for. So Vice City would be the easy answer for me. Yeah, Vice City.
Okay, but
It's
what
great.
game would you least want to play right now? Like if you were to go and play.
3.
Well, 3 because of the technological limitations. You can't jump out of the car while it's moving.
Yeah.
I mean, like it's simple to answer in that way. So again, we think
the
about
voice
these
acting
things.
in 3 was superb, though.
It has
And in
some
Vice
of the
City.
best, some of the best people.
All of them.
Yeah.
So yeah, is Vice City a better game? Yeah, it's a better game. I'll acknowledge that.
Better
But
soundtrack.
Better soundtrack,
the
better
core
story.
memories and everything that I love about GTA spawns from 3.
Right.
There's no,
You
know,
can't let that
I'm-
go.
yeah, I just can't.
Yeah, that's how I
it's
feel.
too nostalgic. I got the goggles on,
Yeah.
so Vice City's gonna go.
Damn.
We're gonna stay with 3.
Damn.
And
If
5.
Chris picks Vice City, it's over.
I don't. It's an impossible choice. Trying
Well,
to pick
I'll-
kids. I don't know.
I'll limit my preamble and just say all games obviously have had a humongous impact. It's also not just getting rid of the game; it's who you were or are, whatever, who you were when that game was out at that time. You know what I mean? Because
Oh wow, we're expanding.
well,
I don't know what
it's
that
true.
means.
I mean, at that time, I was a kid when GTA
I'm
3 came
deleting
out.
my
I was
childhood.
a child,
Okay.
you know, and when Vice City came out, I was still kind of a kid, but I had the baby blue velour suit, you know, with the baby blue Tims and fucking. I love, you know, I was
had
I was a
baby blue
little more.
Tims?
I had baby blue Tims.
Jesus
Told you
Christ.
it'd be
Sorry,
fine.
dude.
I
With
told
the
you
baby
it'd be
blue
fine.
suit.
I don't care how.
That was, and I had the, and then I would always wear the.
Is this guy wearing
Gold
baby
chain?
You
Tims?
can't call it that anymore. The shirt, the sleeveless shirt. I'm not going to use the.
A shirt.
You know,
an A shirt.
the white.
The W
Yeah,
Blue
it's a
shirt.
white A shirt.
Yeah, exactly.
White-
that's
it's called
the
an
only.
A shirt.
I always knew it as a
A wife beater?
you know, I didn't want to say wife beater. That's what they used
The
to call
tank
it.
top.
I know, but
Yeah, it's an A shirt.
I
It's
always
called an A shirt.
I always knew it at the time. It's a wife beater. I didn't even know what wife beater meant
That's what I was.
or
always
the
told
connotation
was the
behind it.
color
That's
shirt.
just what I heard.
Everybody
the
said
shirt.
that. Everybody said that.
They
There's
all.
no-
It was
yeah,
known
there's
as the
no-
wife
yeah.
beater.
I said tank top. I don't know.
You never heard the term wife beater?
I did, but not at that age. Not at 10
Oh,
years
dude,
old.
that was
Really?
oh,
I
you got
grew
no.
up with that term.
I grew up in the M&M.
You weren't cool unless you were
muscle
wearing a
shirt.
wife beater. That
I
was
was-
I
I
was
was in-
as they called it.
All right.
I was in like 6th grade when like Eminem came out, and
Yeah,
there
it
was a
was-
lot
it was
going
that
on.
era.
There was a lot going on.
I remember.
And GTA 5 is who I am now, you know, and I love GTA 5. I've probably played that game more than any other game ever.
No.
Oh,
Vin
yeah,
had the
I'm
stats up.
actually gonna go to
I
that
want you to find how
eventually.
many days I've played
Oh,
GTA.
God.
It's definitely
I have
like
it.
100 something.
It wasn't more
Yeah,
than
but-
what I've played Destiny.
It
I don't
wasn't.
know.
You
We
Maybe.
did that. We did
All right,
this
well,
a while back.
Do you want me
Well,
to
I've been
reveal?
playing it still. I've been
Wait,
playing a lot.
should
You
I-
haven't played Destiny.
I should have
Oh.
I should have fucking screenshotted everything.
Look
Hold
up the hours played. But
on. I
anyway,
have it.
while you-
so
what's the hours played?
no, I'm curious of mine. Oh, there you go.
So
Can you get all of ours somehow?
Get everybody.
you can compare all the stats on Rockstar Social Club.
I have
You
it.
can
That's
compare
where I'm at.
stats. Yeah.
How many
That's
hours
what-
did I
that's what it's
play
on.
that? I'm just curious.
You'll get it. We'll get the stats. Maybe we'll share it after the show. This is why we should have like a Patreon. You want to see
Help.
our GTA stats?
Yeah.
No. Nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares. So okay, my vote. Damn it. I'm voting GTA 3.
Wow.
Goes. And here's why. Even though GTA 3 is what got me into Grand Theft Auto, had GTA 3 not ever existed, GTA Vice City would have
Nothing.
eventually come
No
along
way.
to.
Nah, they
No
wouldn't.
way.
You mean so? What? Then
GTA
everyone
3
would
was
have
the
to.
first one that followed the formula.
I get that, but
everyone
my
after
point
that
is, we
followed.
can survive with. My point is, if GTA, they're pretty much the same game. GTA Vice City was just an enhancement of GTA 3. So if we're saying we live in a world where GTA 3 is gone, now you're saying no, none of the GTAs exist. Then I'm just getting rid of all of them. That's not how it works. If GTA 3 is gone, we have Vice City and we have GTA 5 still. So my point being, I would have eventually fallen into the GTA thing. You know, Vice City, I think, was a better game in terms of the soundtrack was better. Somebody mentioned in the comments here, fucking when they introduced the motorcycle, that was the big thing. Is it made it different because you couldn't ride a motorcycle in
How could you be in Florida, Miami, on the beach without a motorcycle, brother?
right.
Anyway.
So the motorcycle was awesome. The fact that you could
It's a chopper, baby.
you could shoot through windows and kill people through the windshield.
chopper.
GTA 3, you shot someone through the windshield, they didn't die.
Right.
You could pop the tires in the car.
Yep.
Oh,
The
that's
cops would throw
Also the worst.
would throw strips on the ground
Yes.
to pop your tires.
Yeah.
worst.
I remember
You know,
that.
there was a
Car's
huge,
dumb.
good heist mission. The missions were better. The story was better. Tommy Vercetti was a stronger character than Cloud or whatever his name was.
Yep.
You know, with the
Well,
fucking
that was just supposed to be you.
right. I get that, but
Tommy
still,
Vercetti was our Ray Liotta.
Yep.
right. Well, and I mean, come on, Ray Liotta, you know,
Literally.
That's why
we'll never get another character voice.
It's a better game. It's a
I
better
didn't.
game.
I didn't
There's
vote.
no
I didn't
doubt.
vote off
Yeah.
Vice City like these two
Oh
did.
shit! I got the picture up again. And I mean, and look, if I
There's
get
no
rid of
doubt.
Vice City, I get rid of that picture. You know,
Why don't you just
I don't
get
have
rid
that
of it?
picture
So
now.
exactly. Nostalgia.
So it's gonna be GTA 3, which means GTA Vice City has 2 votes,
It's
That
gone.
means it gets eliminated.
but it doesn't have a majority vote.
It does.
What do you mean?
Well,
Has
it's
the
not
most votes.
It's not a unanimous
not
vote.
more than half. Majority means more than half.
Well, I mean,
Just saying.
what are the comments saying? Let's wrap it up with what are they like?
The comments? Jesus, we gotta go.
Comments are
we gotta
going
go
nuts
back
right
here.
now.
It's the comments.
Well, so one thing Hell's mentioned, and I touched upon it before. Ragdoll physics were insane in 4, and that was one of the things that made 4 feel so real was those ragdoll physics.
Sure.
And then I think Real Rocket Boy also said that. They said the ragdoll physics was everything in GTA 4. That's a must-have for 6, and that's a big gripe that people have with GTA 5 is that they don't have the ragdoll physics anymore. They got rid of that, which I thought made it feel more real, personally.
I heard in 6 you're going to be able to get a suntan.
Interesting.
Depends on
Insane.
listen, the level of detail that they go through. That
But
would probably be
that-
the
I
last.
believe-
But
on
then
the
do you
list.
get a disease to go
It
along
would
with
be
the
the
suntan?
last of the things.
Do you
that
have to buy
anyone-
lotion to put it on? Who puts the lotion
It
on
would
for
just
you?
be the
I
last
have
of
questions.
anything anybody gives a
Never
shit
gets the
about.
cancer again.
But that's the level of detail they go through.
Put the lotion in
yeah.
the
And
fucking
and that's
basket.
why the
Think about it.
game feels lived in, and that's why the game feels believable.
When
So
you got
if
out
they
of a
want to
car-
highlight all these little leaks and all the little code that they, you haven't seen it in action. I don't give a fuck what
Well,
you
it's fun
say
to
or think.
speculate, though. It's fun to speculate. You
For
know?
sure, everybody wants. Well, that's the
You don't want the
that's
level,
the
like-
frothing at the mouth. But I wouldn't use it to criticize the game that hasn't been shown, released, or
Well, it's rightful concerns because we mentioned, every game kind of has like their learn from reality moment where it's like,
God, this game.
fuck.
It's never gonna deliver the.
Well, GTA 4,
expectation.
you kept getting phone calls. That was the problem with 4,
Right.
right?
It was 5. I don't really know.
Each game
why
had,
was
like,
everybody
something-
complaining about 5. 5 was just that. It was
Cousin, let's go
3
bowling.
5
That
just
was 4,
the
yeah.
fact that it was 3 characters. I think kind of made it lack that feeling that you were either
agree.
the character
and
agree.
evolving over time.
characters-
was where Tommy was
Here-
poor, and then he got his mansion, and he got all
Right.
these crew members with him,
Right.
and he just became the boss before, where he was just a schlep.
Right.
So yeah, that's the reason
the
why I
weakness of
voted
5.
off of 5, because it was too all over the place.
Right.
And I think with San Andreas, I think that was
That's
the first
what I
one
was gonna get
that I
to.
did not finish, because San Andreas was so huge in scope, and it was so big, and there was so much to do. You can go eat, you can go
You had to
lift
eat,
weights,
you had to
can
work
do
out.
whatever you want to do. Be fat, be skinny, be muscular. Like, you can do all sorts of different things. It was too micromanaging.
Yes.
How your character
RPG.
did, and it took away the core elements of why you're playing Grand Theft Auto, is just to steal a car,
kick ass.
go somewhere, cause some mayhem and some havoc, and then find your space.
Express yourself, because sometimes I just cruise through the game. I just chill. I just drive.
you're bored of GTA
I tried
when you
to
follow the traffic
right.
laws, though,
I'll follow the rules for a little bit until somebody
San
rear-ends me.
Andreas had a great soundtrack too. I would put that at
Fantastic.
number 2.
Oh, San Andreas.
Welcome
did
to
have
the
a
Jungle, when they
fantastic-
played that. Oh, amazing.
They had a lot of good stuff.
I
They
know.
had like Stone Temple Pilots, the Plush
yeah.
song.
It's
I mean,
probably up
Dr.
between.
Dre.
good shit.
Yeah.
Oh, Dr.
know,
Dre
it's
has always been ingrained in GTA. As far back, from San Andreas, like there was a lot of Dre, Snoop music. That it was just so iconic at that time. I wanted to mention before. Do you remember when you first, I think it was GTA 4, you got out of your car and you still heard it ticking? Like you'd hear like the ting,
Oh,
ting,
right,
ting,
right.
ting, ting.
It
And it's
was
like, what the
4.
fuck is that? And it's like, wow, they really paid attention that
4
much.
had the potholes
Lot
and
of
the
detail.
suspension. It was
Lot of detail.
highly detailed. It was more detailed that you said than 5.
In
5
some
was
ways,
a little
yeah.
bit more, larger, but weirdly more empty, which kind of also affects 5.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
All great games. We're definitely gonna get another fucking solid game. I'm probably gonna play some Grand Theft Auto Online and do some more valet videos and fucking troll people. And no other game has ever allowed me to fucking torture people.
We're gonna do Cayo Perico again, Chris.
See?
Oh, yeah. Hey, you want to hit the Cayo Perico,
Some
Rob?
Cayo Perico after the show.
No, well, dude, I was saying I'll hide. I'll fucking the goddamn picture. I can't get rid of it. Get rid of this picture now. It's
Here it
not.
is again.
I can't find
The
the
whole
layer.
time
It's
back
been
to
it's
haunt
like
us.
gone.
Christ.
I'm just gonna drag it off the
Just
screen.
leave it
maybe.
alone.
We're getting haunted by the blue velour.
See it, and then, yeah,
You can't
fucking-
right click and hit the hide thing?
I gotta go.
No, it's going. Well, hold on. I'll fucking.
What if he Command Z, like you undo?
Yeah, that would have been good. Oh, either way.
And you want the hours real quick?
What are the
let's
play
hear it.
hours for GTA 5?
All right, so I'll start with the lowest. Rob, 13 days, 3 hours, 14 minutes. Me, 73 days, 22 hours, and 22 minutes.
Jeez, 73. God damn it, the picture. All right.
73 whole days.
73 days. Jeez, what's mine?
Chris has got 107 days, 3
Yeah!
hours, and 12 minutes.
It's nothing
Yeah!
compared to my Destiny stats.
That is a lot of time.
Destiny 1, I played 200 days. Destiny 2, I'm over 250 days.
Damn,
what?
Look it up.
it's bad.
Go on the achievements. Go on the...
Jesus.
Bad.
250?
So
But
almost
I've played-
500 days between both games. Destiny 1, Destiny 2. No other game have I played more than that series.
God, that's so sad. Grand Theft Auto.
I
is
have
a-
to compare.
You know what?
trophies. I'm
If we could go back and do it all again, I would
I have
do
no
Grand Theft
hesitation.
Auto over Destiny every time.
Yeah, I have no hesitation. I loved every fucking minute. I have so many recordings, screenshots. I have moments where we loaded him into the back of the box truck with a couple other people. We'd roll up to them and they knock the door open and fucking just gun down the person. Just
When they
amazing.
came out with the heist, I think that's the only time I came back into it because it reminded me of Heat.
Oh man,
And I
those
love the
heists
movie
were
Heat
nuts.
so much.
Yeah, the heist definitely brought the game to a cinematic level with
Fucking
GTA
picture.
Online. Whereas it was, the first intro was like a sandbox, and then they
You
gave
really
it
had
a
to
little
plot it out. You really had to.
They had everyone on the edge of
They
their
had to get
seats. Those
creative.
heists. Everybody was like, because you didn't know if the game was gonna crash and you were gonna have to start all over too, or if somebody was gonna fucking die at the last second.
That was like the
Joe,
first
little
half-
Joe,
first
was gonna
half
fucking ride off the edge of a cliff at the very last second. It was
the
they
worst.
were so frustrating, and sometimes you had to
I've
get so
given-
calculated.
I've given
with those
them.
heists.
I've given Rockstar every courtesy. Let's say
They got a lot of
I've
leeway.
allowed.
They've
They've
earned
been
it.
very
leeway,
understanding.
all the leeway.
all the leeway from day one on, but they've provided something that's unparalleled. There's nothing else like it. You can't point to another game that's like, oh, it's just no. World
Is there
of
anything
Warcraft.
else you want to cover real quick?
Well, I mean, we could do because a lightning round, which could maybe be a
What
new
was this,
show. New
20 more minutes.
lightning round
Lightning.
of who stays, who goes. You kick the camera. You had a better one. You had of the main characters. You had a better who stays, who goes. I think.
And we could go on.
Well, what's the lightning round?
Lightning round, who stays, who goes.
Lightning round.
Who
of
were
stays,
your
who
picks? It
goes?
was your thing. Yeah, lightning round meaning quick.
Oh.
All right, so I said
Round the table.
to him, if you were
Nico,
gonna,
CJ, Tommy, right? That's what you wanted to. Michael.
No, not CJ. It was Nico, Tommy,
yeah,
and CJ. Yeah, okay.
yeah, because you can't include. Yeah, I was in
I'd get rid of Nico.
Nico Bellic.
Get rid of Nico.
Oh yeah,
Wow,
fucking Russians, man.
he wasn't Russian.
He was Russian.
He was
Whatever.
fucking
Belarus, Bulgarian. I don't know. Bulgarian
He's from
brute.
Eastern Europe.
Yeah, that might
He's
have been
Eastern
Whatever.
Bulgarian.
European.
Kazakhstan, whatever. I don't know.
Cousin. Listen,
Fuck them. Get rid of them.
Wow, Rob,
What's the question?
it's a lightning. It's fucking
Rob, we're doing a podcast. bud.
Rob,
yeah,
yeah.
but I don't know the characters you're referring to.
CJ was San Andreas,
All right,
I didn't play
lightning
San
round's
Andreas.
over.
so that's why I remember that was it. We were like, we don't think Rob played,
That's why. I
or
didn't pick
Nico from GTA 4, or Tommy Vercetti.
He's not.
So
It's gonna be the San Andreas guy. 'cause I didn't play
He's
it.
all right. See, that's why it's a lightning round.
Help!
Vin, fucking picture came up. Can't get
I'm
rid
not voting Tommy. I like to.
Tommy.
Tommy's
That's
he's
definitely
staying.
not Tommy.
Tommy's not going.
It's probably CJ.
Yeah.
I think he goes.
Yeah, I mean-
it's whatever. Yeah.
Nico's the
I don't-
fucking best, dude. I love Nico. He had such a great story. He was such a good character.
All right,
He
that's your
had
opinion.
somewhat
It
of a
is-
moral
Much
code.
for a lightning round.
He had a great voice actor.
So you're getting rid of
Cousin.
who? CJ.
Getting rid of CJ. I mean,
Right, CJ goes.
CJ was cool, but he was kind of like, what? It's like he's a good character. I like CJ, but
None of them were bad.
yeah, Tommy
Oh.
stays. Moral of the story. All right. Well, maybe the lightning round was a dud, but take us home, Yoko, before you fall asleep.
Tell us where you're going to be next week before you do.
Yeah, so Vin and I are not going to be around next weekend because we are heading to the tundra of Minnesota.
God.
We're going to be going for MapleCon 2.0. There's a mall about 30 minutes away from the Mall of America in Minneapolis. It's called the Maplewood Mall. They had Real Life Lois and I out last year for a convention. They loved our appearance so much that during Comic-Con, the promoters hit me up and asked me if I was interested in returning for MapleCon 2.0, which, of course, we were interested. And that's going to be a one-day show on Saturday, the 18th. It's going to run from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. There's going to be a cosplay contest, $300 cash prize for first place. It's always a good time. You know, I get to have my best friend with me, so it'll definitely be a lot. We'll actually have footage because Vin will be there. Because I'm when I cosplay, I live in the moment and I'm providing experience for other people. It's very hard for me to try to capture that while providing those experiences. So it's extremely helpful to have somebody there to help out with that kind of thing. And control the lines and stuff because I get, bombarded with shit. And then, that's how the whole conversation came up with me not seeing Bad Santa because I'm on my fucking lunch break.
Oh, my God. That was fucking awesome.
And that whole thing.
You got to watch that this year.
Definitely.
That'll be our Christmas watch.
I'll watch that before Chris watches Donnie Brasco.
Oh, definitely.
Definitely. I'll watch that before I watch Donnie Brasco.
Damn it.
But we want to thank everybody for tuning into the show. We had a great audience tonight. 12 concurrent viewers. We're growing our little show. Season 3 starts off on a strong note. We love you guys. Thank you so much. If you love the show, please tell your friends. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification button. This has been the Break Room Podcast. Snoochie Boochies, and may the force be with you.